Sometimes the world just needs a hero to help cut through all the noise.
Well, now you have two.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the number 70 episode of the Heroes of Noise. I'm only one half of this amazing, dynamic duo. My name is Steve.
Damas y caballeros, niños y niñas, bienvenido al episodio 60 de Héroes de Ruido. Prepárate para entrarte hasta el punto de que tus rectos caigan de tus nalgas. Basta de mi mierda, vamos a seguir adelante.
Okay, you care to translate that?
Google it. What's up, everybody? What's going on? You told me that I didn't come in hot enough last week, so I wanted to, make up for it.
I'm very impressed because considering your last name, that's the first actual. I'm like, oh, this is Daniel Ramirez.
I'm not sure if I said everything correctly, man. You really want me to tell you what I said?
What did you say?
It's gonna take the fun out of it, but all right. I said, ladies and
no,
gentlemen.
don't. I'll Google it. As a matter of fact, I'll let.
It's gonna be no. If you let your sister, I know.
That's what I'll do. I'll text Michael.
I know
I'll be
I blew
Michael,
that shit apart. I guarantee I said something wrong. You want to know what I said?
No, I'm gonna text Mike. I'm gonna be like, Michael, what did he say for the opening?
All right,
and he'll probably laugh.
I'm telling you right now, God. I said some words incorrectly, but yeah, I'm not gonna say. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Steve, we're at episode 70, man.
Gee, that went fast.
And by the way, I think I said episode 60 on accident. Matter of fact, I know I did. I said 60. I should have said 70. So who cares?
That's impressive.
I don't even care.
I mean, how long do you have to practice that?
I don't know. This morning.
That's impressive, dude.
Well, I mean, I just wrote it down. It's not, and I read it. It's not like I
understand, but I can't read Spanish.
You're talking about just the pronunciation of things?
Yeah.
Well, again, I just did it this morning, so there's some mistakes.
I mean, look, everybody give this man a round of applause.
Go ahead.
That is amazing.
Go ahead. Here we go. Here. I'll do it for you. Thank you very much. It's like praising a dog for barking. All right, there we go.
That's not true because you do not speak Spanish often.
This is true. Not that often. I used to speak it a lot. I don't do it that much anymore.
How was your week, man?
Fan-freaking-tastic, baby. I didn't really do anything, man. I've just been in this fantastic mood. I've been working a lot. And you know me, I like to work, so it's been good. And didn't do anything on Memorial Day. I worked. But somehow I managed to watch a whole bunch of shit. Set some life goals, Steve. Yeah. And also found out, and I'm not trying to turn the attention away from me, but I found out that my man has some serious feelings that I want to talk about.
Oh, I can't wait. What might you be talking about, Dan?
Well, I'm talking about you, man. I do. You know what I am? I'm going to swing it away from me because I'm going to tell you. If you ask me how I've been, I'm going to give you my regular old boring story. I watched some stuff and da-da-da-da. But you, sir, you've got a story.
I do have a story. And the funny thing is, it's quite a non-Steve story, as you know.
I've got thoughts. And I need to know some things, man, because it all doesn't make sense to me in a weird way. Not like it's bad.
Dude.
It's just there's just some things that aren't quite lining up on the timeline. Yes. And I just have some questions. Uh-huh. And if I know you, I know that I'm going to get an answer. I'm going to figure out, oh yeah, okay, this makes perfect sense now.
Oh no, not at all. This is so different for me that it will not make sense.
Really?
Oh, for sure, dude.
Well, I don't want to say that word, but certain things don't make sense sometimes.
That's true, and it's a weird. What we're talking about is, so I am off the market right now.
Wow.
Sorry,
ladies.
Yes. Oh yeah, like the zero that we're after. No, but I'm off the market. What happened was I got on the dating scene. I was like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get on the dating scene.
All right.
I'm gonna do this thing.
Hit me.
I'm gonna do it. And I got on Tinder and met a few people. And it wasn't that you don't like the people you meet. It's just there's not something there.
Chemistry.
There's just something missing. Yeah. And say we talked, there's one that I talked to for 3 hours, 4 hours one night. Got off the phone. I was like, eh.
It says so much about our relationship, Steve.
I just got there. It was fun, but I think I said this on a podcast, but she was the one where I told her all of my issues in the bedroom.
I don't think we talked about it on the podcast. We talked about it,
okay,
but we didn't talk about it on the podcast.
I told her about the Babadook situation, and I went into it for like 15 minutes, and afterwards, all she did was let out a big sigh and go, where she said, "That's daunting."
Oh, I was trying to keep myself from snorting there right now. I made this weird sound.
I said, "Oh, it is, isn't it? It is very daunting." So I almost was just like, "Okay, I'm done."
Yeah.
And then like the last week I was going to use this site, I swiped right. And I swiped right on a that's funny. I swiped right on a person that normally I just was like, "Oh, we probably are not going to connect." But it was like, bling, you have a match. I said, "Oh, this is interesting." So I contact her, just the normal, "Hey, how you doing? Seems like we're a match," and laying out the charm. And then like 10 hours later, I was like, okay, she's not going to answer. And out of nowhere, she gives me an answer. She's like, "Hey, so we're going back and forth, and we have a connection. We're going back and forth, and finally she says, "Look, I'm deleting this app. What do you want to do?"
Wowzers, man.
Yeah. She's like, "I'm deleting it. Do you want to have my number?" And I was like, "You know what? Give me your number." So she gave me her number. I contact her. We start going back and forth. And then weird things started happening.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
She would, yeah.
So
please.
during this, I'm just trying to paint the picture. So during this time when you're going back and forth, are you texting? Are you talking?
We're only going back and forth through the Tinder app.
Okay.
It gives you a messaging.
I only asked because I thought she was going to delete it.
Yeah, she deleted. She's like, "I'm deleting this app. What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Give me your," okay, give me, here's my number. I gave her my number. Said, "Here's my number. If you want to continue off of Tinder, do that." And so later on, she texted me. She's like, "Hey, this is Melissa." I said, "Hey." And we start going back and forth. And then weird things start happening. Like she's like, we figure out we have both the same favorite foods. We like
she vegetarian?
Same sort of. No, she's not. Not at all.
Does that present a problem?
What she said was, she's like, "I've always wanted to chill on the meat thing, but I've never had a reason to."
Holy shit.
Yeah, she's like, "I've never had a reason to." And it's like random things where when I say something my favorite and she says it, I'm like, "That's awesome." Could have just been me saying it, but then she'd be like, "My favorite thing is this." And I'm like, "This is getting weird." It's like, this is getting downright strange. And so finally she's like, we were supposed to meet 3 weeks out, like 3 weeks later. And we're talking that day.
Bro, I'm sorry. Can I stop you one more time?
Yeah.
So how far back are we going here? Like, when did this start?
We're going a month ago.
Just a month ago.
Just a month ago.
Okay. All right.
And we were supposed to meet. We started talking for like a week. She called and we talked on the phone and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And 3 weeks later, I was like, "What are you doing next week?" "I have this." "What are you doing this week?" "Oh, I got to do this with my kids." I said, "What are you doing the week after that?" She's like, "That's open."
Ding, 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 ding.
So that weekend, the weekend as in like we were talking, it was supposed to be 3 weeks out, but that weekend was a Mother's Day. And so she said, "What are you doing at this very second?" I said, "What do you mean?" She's like, "It was like 8:00 at night." I said, "You know me, I'm up." She said, "Let's meet now."
Wow.
I said, "Oh, I thought you had to go to work tomorrow." She's like, "I do, but I just have to see who I'm talking to, if we have the chemistry in person." I said, "I totally get that. Let's do it." So we go to the Mad Duck. I've never been.
I'm just tripping on you, bro. Like you're already stepping out into these environments. And by the way, Mad Duck is where?
On right.
No. What's
across the street?
Right. What's the town?
It's not in Clovis. I went to the one on Blackstone.
On Blackstone?
Or maybe it's not the Mad Duck.
Yard House?
Yeah. No, it's right by it. What is what Elephant Bar used to be?
Oh, you went to the Lazy Dog?
There we go.
Okay, sorry. I know that's kind of like trivial shit, but my point was, I thought when you said Mad Duck, I'm like, that's Clovis. No. So you're really taking some steps for this woman.
But technically, I thought Mad Duck was Maya's, not Clovis.
Dude, it's like the ass crack of Clovis. It's close enough.
I know, but I'm not on that border.
You're not going to stick your toe over, huh?
No, sir.
All right, fair enough.
we go to the Lazy Dog and we order drinks. I walk in. I already know I'm stunning. So I knew I was going to be presentable. And so I literally walk in with the swag of a G. Now, mind you, I was going to send you a picture because I have Dan, what am I doing? What am I doing on this show?
What are you doing on this show? What are you about to say? What kind of pictures are you sending me, man?
I have a V-neck, 2 new V-neck t-shirts, and the V-neck goes like to the middle of my chest.
What the fuck?
And I was going to say, Dan, is this too low?
Okay, did you wear it?
Yeah, of course.
Then it's fine, Steve. It's just fine.
Yes. Well, I don't know, G. I was very, but I like looking at my chest, so I was like, oh, we're
You're
going.
like, look at this t-shirt. You can see my balls. They just plop through the V-neck. This is going to be a good show. I'm happy.
That is so funny. Oh my God. Oh, that is so good. You gotta clip that out. That is okay. This year, that is the funniest thing that has been said on this podcast.
That's the one, huh?
I mean,
but let's get back to you though, because this is the more important
anyway,
thing.
so I'm wearing my my V-neck.
So my balls are hanging out, right?
They're right there. So I walk in and I see her and I'm just like, hey, because she had been warning me. You know what's funny? She had been warning me. She's like, I might look different than I do in the picture. And she looked better than the picture. So I was like, hey, nice to meet you. And it's this weird thing where now it was like, okay, we're meeting. We sit down, we start talking. And it's awkward from the jump. It's kind of weird.
Well, it's a weird situation, dude. I mean,
exactly.
I'm completely removed from I almost said Twitter, from Tinder.
Yeah.
I'm completely removed from it. I don't even understand it because it wasn't around when I got into my situation. You know what I mean? So I could understand that being really, really awkward. Very inorganic almost.
Yes. And we've been talking so wonderfully on the phone that now face to face, it's not transferring yet. So we're kind of talking. And then we get into a groove and we start talking so long that like Lazy Dog is about to close. So I was like, well, I guess that's it. And she said she gets a text from her daughter that's like, I want some food. Is there any, can you pick me up something? And I was like, well, she said, let's go to Denny's. Or she said, I'm going to go to Denny's. I said, well, I'll go with you. And she's like, okay. So we go to Denny's and I'm like, it's feeling so different from the phone. And I don't know why, because we had been talking a lot on the phone, like a lot.
Do you think that it's because, like, is this in your head is what I'm saying? Like, do you think she's fine, but this is in your head? You're kind of going like, I'm not really. In my
head, yes. And what I did, Dan, you're going to love this.
I probably will.
And it was totally organic. I said, hey, something doesn't feel right. And she's like, really? And I grabbed her hand. I was like, there we go.
You G. Fucking lover boy and a half right there, man.
And I was like, oh, we had been talking so much that doing this walking side by side is not going to work. I was like, we're past that now. Because we had been talking every single day, and so it's just like, and after that, it was just on and on. We, later on that night, I did the thing where, I was like, oh no, the dinner's on me. Man, I was like, how much do I owe you? The girl's like, oh, it's $4.95 for this breakfast. I was like, $4.95? Are you sure? She's like, I work here, yes. I said, dang, I didn't know you guys sold breakfasts for $4. It's crazy.
What a bargain. Old fish out of water, you.
I was tripping, dude. But so I walk her to her car and she gets in and she goes and I give her a kiss on the cheek and I walk away. And she's like, bye, I'll see you tomorrow. I was like, you know what? Can't leave it like that. And I kiss her.
Get down, dude. I don't know this side of you, so this is very interesting to me.
It was like out of a movie. And so that's what and then the next day we talk when she gets home. And then the next day she's like, you know what? What do you think about last night? I said, I loved it. We clicked. And she said, look, you're the only one I'm going to be talking to. And I was like, you're the only one I'm going to be talking to.
Wow.
She's like, okay. And that's it.
Well, I mean, and the thing is too, is that it sounds super quick to me, but at the same time, I'm not taking into consideration the conversation, the quality of conversation that was had, and the connection. And I'm not, I don't know. It's weird. Like when you told me, you said, hey, I'm talking to a few people. I said, okay, right on, man. We had this conversation before. I remember this.
Yeah.
And so, you seemed very nonchalant about the whole thing. And then you just went into overdrive all of a sudden, which isn't a bad thing, dude. I'm not trying to make like, you're going too quick, Steve. I'm not going down that road whatsoever. It was just, for you, and from what I know of you over the last few years, this is just so not Steve.
Oh, dude, it's so strange for me. Dude, I'm about to be the worst. It's like, she texted me. She's like, hey, this is different, isn't it? I said, yes, it is. You're not feeling a weird thing. She's like, yeah, it feels very different. And it's kind of scary because it's like, yeah, this hasn't really happened before. This is this is what this thing feels like. This is weird for me. It's a very strange thing.
No, I'm not going to put you on that spot, but I'm really happy for you, brother. I'm going to say that. I
appreciate it.
Like, it's weird because I don't know this side of you.
Yeah, it's strange.
The one thing I just want to make sure, this isn't going to jack up the podcast, right? Like, you're not getting with Yoko or anything like that, right?
Come on, dude.
I'm just kidding. Does she listen to the show?
No, she doesn't know pop culture.
You don't need to know pop culture, Melissa. You just need to talk to us a little bit, and we'll tell you all about that stuff.
Here's when I knew it was serious. I said, you've got to meet Dan and Gail.
Did you really say that, or are you just trying to make me feel good?
No, if she will tell you. She would tell you.
That makes me feel good, man. There's a lot of friends in your life, and I appreciate that.
I have a lot of acquaintances.
No, I feel you.
I have a lot of
That's real. I understand. I feel you. But still, man, that's a very, I'm very flattered, man. It makes me feel good.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes me all warm and fuzzy inside.
Because I know, because it's like, there's only a few, like, family, you and Gail, that it's going to be like, everyone else, what they think of her, I don't care.
Has she met Mom?
No.
Okay. All right. Has she met Maj?
She has met Maj, but Maj, you already knew how that conversation went.
Hi, Maj. How you doing?
That's
no,
it.
I'm just playing, Maj. I'm just fucking with you, Maj. Just kidding.
No, he was just like, hi.
He's just shy, man. You know that. Why am I telling you how your son behaves? You know.
But you know how that went. And so later.
It's so sweet, though, dude. He's like a sweet kid. Like, he's just so shy.
He's just super shy. And so she leaves. And I said, so how do you like her? He's like, I like her.
Aww.
And I said, do you think she's a keeper? He's like, yeah.
Aww. This is fucking beautiful, man.
Oh, I was like, well, this is freaking awesome. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I knew that she showed me a video of her daughter looking through my Facebook. And she's like, hey, who's homegirl? I was like, I wonder who she's talking about. And I forgot. The first thing you scroll through are a bunch of pictures of me and the workout girl. Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I said, oh my gosh, is it that? And she's like, yeah, there's a lot of pictures of this girl over and over and over again.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, it's no big deal.
Ain't no thing, though. It's nothing.
No. And so I knew when I met the daughter, I thought she was going to be sketchy on me, but I did meet her daughter.
Side-eyeing you and shit. Like, what are your intentions with my mother?
Exactly. But the thing is, dude, bruh, come on, Dan, you already know your boy. Like, everybody in her family wanted to meet me because they were like, we have seen you be, it go left. We've seen it go left. And it normally, because whenever you get into a relationship that's horrible, you're already knee deep before people realize, oh no. So they were like, is this guy, and I get it. A lot of times I come off a little bit, but like, yeah, he's doing a thing. And I kept telling Melissa, I was like, this isn't a thing.
When you say doing a thing, did they think you were like code switching and shit or what?
No, like they thought that, oh, he's loud, he's funny, he's this.
But is he really like that?
Yes. And I was like, Melissa, this is just me 100% most of the time.
And I'll vouch for you too.
Yes. I come in hot. I come in very hot. And so, but her family was, here's what got me. I met her mom and she hugged me after we met. And she said, now I know why her daughter loves you. I was like, oh. I looked at Cameron. I was like, really? She's like, oh, God. She's 15. So she's like, oh God. I'm like, wait a minute. I did not know this. But she was just saying that she like she's met. I'm sure she's like, this for my mom, I get it. As far as she knows that I'm not going to do that thing.
So she's like, she's seen mom maybe not make mistakes, but things didn't go so right.
Yes.
And she had some feelings about it, obviously, because it's her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But now she feels like, hey, this is a good one. You got a good egg,
yes.
Mom.
Totally. And so
that's great, dude.
From there, we're just, we're just like, hey, we're not in any rush to do anything. Now we're just coasting.
That's good.
Enjoying each other's company and just being like, hey, she's not, the good thing is she's not into the marriage thing. She's like, I don't mind doing a commitment ceremony that California's not involved with. And I was like, because me, you know me.
Well,
dude.
no, I don't actually, because just last week you were saying, you know what, man? I forgot exactly what you said, but it was something to the effect of, I'm actually thinking that I might possibly be able to get married again at some point. You said something to that effect last week.
Yes, but in my brain, I just can't get the state involved. I just can't do it. But I could imagine myself being like, I am committed to you.
Common law, baby.
Is it in California, OG?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is it legit?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't have the documentation in front of me and shit, but yeah.
That's how they get you, huh?
That's how they get you. No, like my uncle's been married, common law, whatever it's called, for, close to 15, 20 years now.
Really?
And they share everything. Huh. I don't know exactly how it works, dude. Hey, ladies and gentlemen out there, you got some information for Steve or myself about common law marriages or whatever you call that shit, please send it in. I know there's some smart people out there. Shannon, you're a lawyer.
There we go.
Get the books out.
This is the last gushy thing I'm going to say because it is so gushy and so gross. It was like, okay, oh, Dan, what am I doing to myself?
You're like, hold on, there's two more gushy things.
Oh, Lord.
Let it out, man. This is your outlet right here.
This is terrible.
You're on your platform.
This is so funny. Okay, so, oh my God. Dude, okay. I cannot stand a lot of, I do love them, but they were just fun songs. Just fun. I was like, oh, I love gushy love songs because they're just mushy and silly. Dude, they mean something now.
Steve's looking in the mirror, be like, I don't know much, but I know I love you. That may be all I need to know.
I know shit. I was sitting there looking in the mirror like, and I'm ready to take.
Ready to take a chance again with you. Melissa, oh, you came and you gave without taking.
Gee, it is so funny, dog. It is so interesting. And it's like, I was like, okay, this is the thing. I talked to my sister, and my sister is very protective. She's like,
as she should be.
Yeah, all these things. She's like, she texted me, she said, I want to meet her alone.
Oh.
I said,
I don't think so.
I think I'll just go because she remembers last time. And she's like, if I would have met her alone, this crap wouldn't have happened. So she's like, but I was like, we could just all go to, and the thing is, I know that they're going to be like, wow, she's amazing.
This is how it's going to go down, dude. You guys are going to go out to dinner, right?
Yes.
And you and Michael are going to suddenly get left alone as the girls retreat to the restroom to freshen up, so to speak.
Totally.
And that's where it goes down. She's just, they're going to be sitting there doing what the women do in the mirror and shit. She's just going to be like, oh, and by the way, what are your intentions? She's going to say something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised because she kept on, here's the thing. My first question was, are you a Republican? When we were starting talking.
Nice.
And she's like, no, my family. And the thing is, she was like, a lot of my family. I was like, well, I assume that most of she's white, so I assume most of her family is Republican. But I was like, the fact that you aren't means a lot because surrounded by that, normally you are.
Are her family Republicans?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean,
For sure.
I don't label a Republican like as a racist or anything. I was just asking a question.
Okay.
I don't let me fix that. Let me fix that. I don't label all Republicans.
There we
as
go.
racist.
And the thing is, I told her, I was like, I'm not going to just sit there and if they, if these conversations come up, I'm not going to just, I'm going to say, whatever I need to say. And if it gets to a point, I'll walk. And she doesn't seem mad at all. She's like, yeah, well, I'd probably leave with you. I was like, oh, well, perfect.
Wow.
I mean, it's everything I was looking for. And some things I was like, oh, I didn't even know I liked that. Interesting.
Have you met her family yet?
Yes. They love me, which is very weird. I didn't expect that. But I made a joke. I was like, I think they like me because I'm of good stock. It was an interest. I know that they just don't want their kid to be hurt again.
That's good, man. That means that she's got a solid family.
She does have they love her. They love her, man. I mean, they love her. And, I walked away there, they were just like, yeah, he's great.
So I got a confession.
But I'm like, yes.
So, you're my boy, right?
Yes.
So I'm concerned as well, right? So I did a little looking. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Did a little Facebook looking. That's right, Melissa. If you hear this, I'm checking you out. Looking at you. You got a good situation, bro. She seems very, I just looked at pictures. I didn't get all weird or anything like that, but I was just looking at pictures. She's got a fantastic smile, first of all. And I think that a lot can be said about that. It seems very genuine. It doesn't seem like one of those things that I'm a bitter person and then smile, I look good, and then I'm a bitter person again. Excuse me. I think that, I don't know, man. I even watched the little video of you guys. I'm sorry, I'm such a Facebook stalker, but I was watching a little video, you trying food out in the kitchen and shit like that, because I was checking out the dynamics. I wanted to see my boy in action.
That was, she said, she's like, for a first time knowing my daughter, that was, it touched her.
And that was her daughter. That's what I was going to ask you.
Yes.
Okay, all right,
yes.
cool. So, I don't know, man. It seems like you got a good situation, dude. I'm very happy for you, Steve.
It's a very fun, I think the big thing is, just not, and you know what? This is for listeners. Look, dude, if I know a lot of us that have been in bad situations get in these new situations, and if things resemble what you felt before, you run. But just don't. Be like, hey, look, the only possible way for you to actually find something good is to put something on the line. Seriously. If you never do, nothing's ever going to come to fruition. You just can't. Because you'll be like, you gotta, just like you, if you were to be like, hey, I'm not going to risk it with Gail because I'm not going to let myself feel the way I felt about anyone else. I'll be like, well, then you're going to only half like her. You got to be like, if she breaks your heart, that's life.
Every situation is different, dude. Every one. Yes. You can have similar situations, similar good, similar bad, but they're all different. And the feelings will feel like that tingly butterfly feeling, and you'll be like, uh-oh, gotta run away from that. Well then, dude and sister, you are not going to find that thing. You gotta be like, hey, I'm gonna put it on the line and just say, hey, what happens will happen. If I get screwed. But the thing I told Melissa, I said, you know what? Normally I'm scared, I'm gonna walk, even though I haven't been cheated on before. I'm gonna walk in and you're with some guy. I find out that you're cheating or, it doesn't work out. But I'm like, at this point, I would have to be like, if it all falls apart, I have to take away to be like, but Steve is capable of feeling that thing. I didn't know I was. So moving forward, I know I could feel that. You thought it was dead, huh?
I thought it was, dead.
Yeah, I totally believe that, dude. Just from our conversations.
I thought it was over. I don't have that part of my heart. I just don't have it anymore. And now that I know I do, it's like, worst case scenario, at least I know that is there. But I do believe that this is going to be, I'm not looking anywhere else. I'll say that.
Smart.
we're not looking anywhere else. We understand that problems are going to happen, but it's a fact of how we're like, look, we're going to get in arguments. We're going to get mad at each other.
Well, of course.
It's a fact of, do we want to stick it out? And do you think it's worth it? She's like, right now, I do.
And quite honestly, you guys are in the quote unquote honeymoon phase, man.
Total honeymoon.
You got to be real about it, you know?
And I was like, we love it now, but remember, this is good, but we have to like, oh, dude, I came up. Okay. You promised not to judge your boy. Gee, I'm just getting mushy.
Come on now.
I'm the worst.
Come on, man.
Check out. But you're also going to be like, hey, that's very clever. So I have a remember portrait that we're putting together. That we're going to take a picture of a very amazing happy day in the honeymoon phase.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get into a big argument, we're going to have it's going to say, I remember, like say, hey, remember, that's us. That's us. This isn't us.
Is this your idea?
Yeah.
Was this some, and I'm being dead serious. Like, did you just come up with this? Is this some shit you saw on Etsy? Like, where?
No, I just came up with it.
Okay. I like it.
We have to remember that that's us. When we're arguing, we got to come into this room and say, hey, let's remember that smiling couple is us. We have to always have that. Because we're going to hit it. We're going to hit a brick sometime. We're not going to agree on something and be like, okay, worst case scenario, we're going to be mad, but we always have to come back to that. Remember this.
I mean, dude, the fact of the matter is, and I know I don't have to tell you this, like, you know, yes, I've been married a super long time, but it's not like,
yes, you are. See, you're going to be able to, like, I'm like, if I get in problems, Dan's one of the first people I'm calling and be like, dude, how do you get past there is not going to be a middle ground. You both disagree, and that thing just has to sit.
Right, but I'm not even coming from that standpoint, though. I'm not being like, you know, I've been married a long time, so I have all the answers, because trust me, I don't. But you know, it's just like, you know, once you realize that there's true ugly that everyone has, and you have to be able to get past the ugly. You know what I mean? We all have something ugly about ourselves. I don't give a shit who you are. There is something, let me use a different word, undesirable, perhaps, or different views. You get my point. There's going to be some point where you guys are going to come to some sort of a fork in the road or a disagreement that you may not be able to just instantaneously work out, man. But that's part of it, dude. So you just have to move past that. And if you guys have the ability to do so, that's just going to make you guys stronger. I think that I don't believe people when they're like, oh, you know, we've been married for 20 years and we never fight. Fuck you. No. That's not true. Mm-mm. You know,
that's my thing.
You know, or like the people like on, not everyone, of course, but there are a lot of like Facebook posts. You see people, it's all for show on Facebook, but you're like, come on, I see right through that shit. You know what I mean? Just be yourselves and realize that things are going to get rocky every once in a while. And you just got to Clubber Lang that shit, dude, and be rocky. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. Here's the big one. For me, I'm not doing it like I did before. I'm going to have, my circle is going to be very tight. There's only going to be a few people that have anything to do with the relationship.
I love it when you talk about your tight circle, dude.
You like that? It's going to be like, okay, I want a circle where, you know, if I get into trauma and I'm on the situation, be like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. Where I have like you and, you know, maybe one other person where it's just like, look, I know her and I know y'all. There is no running at this point. You need to work this out. None of those brothers be like, heck yeah, man, get back out there and handle your. No, I don't want that in my circle of relationship. I want to be surrounded by people being like, this, if you walk, you're going to regret that. I'm telling you right now. And when you do regret it, I'm going to say, I told you so. I'm not going to give you be like, I told you. Go back there and work it out. And I'm like, oh, my circle matters. I think a circle of friends who you have around you matters.
100%.
You know, you need people to be like, oh, I don't care that you argued. Go back. What are you doing here with me? Go comfort your girl.
I'm with you.
I will hook up with you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go home.
Like, I'm at this point in my life where, like, I get it, the small circle and everything. And notice I didn't say tight, but I got a small circle of people, man. And where I'm at now, it's like, I see your point, because I would rather have people around me that are positive, such as yourself. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate that.
And if I can't have that, I would rather have nobody. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? I don't want people that are going to be raining on my damn parade all the time, or throwing their bad experiences and like making them yours. You know what I mean? Like taking their bad experiences from the past and making them yours and throwing negativity at you and shit like that. Man, no, we're too old for that shit, dude. Quite frankly.
Gee, we are and the thing is, I want a Dan and Queen Gail situation. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Then just be ready to work, dude.
That's the thing.
That's the one thing, though.
I mean, that's the thing where I have to get used to that because, I mean, dude, I haven't done it in how long now? I mean, like really worked at a really? It's been a long time.
Well, then it's due time, man. And all you got to do is just follow the great words of Taylor Dane, dude. And just, don't rush me. I made that mistake before. Well, worth waiting for.
You know what I think about every time I think of Taylor Dane now?
I have no idea what you think about when you think about Taylor Dane.
Tig Notaro's sketch.
Oh, and you know what I did?
That's the only thing I think about. I'm like, how do you make that funny?
What was the deal with that? She went up to her at a party or something like that, and she said, hey, I love your music. Well, I'm not a singer anymore. She said some crazy shit like that to her.
And she kept on running it. But could you name, okay, this is off the topic. Could you name 4 Taylor Dane songs?
I doubt it. Let's see. Don't Rush
3?
Me.
Yeah.
I know more, dude. It's the titles that are getting me. Fuck. No.
It's interesting,
For the sake
right?
of time, I can't.
I think okay, Don't Rush Me. Tell It to My Heart.
Tell it to my heart.
Yes.
Yes.
And then Love Will Lead You Back.
Love will lead you back.
That's the one. She was good. She rocked the 90s, dude. She rocked the 90s. We should do a Taylor Dane show.
Nah. Maybe that'll be your solo.
No more.
That'll be your solo joint.
But yeah, I'm very happy.
Next week, guys, Steve talks about Taylor Dane.
Yes, the Taylor Dane half hour. But yeah, so I am an interrelationship man taking off the market.
Well, congratulations to you, man. I'm very happy for you.
Appreciate it, man.
And I'm sure our listeners are happy for you too.
Of course. I've been getting hit up. They're wonderful, wonderful.
We've got good listeners, man.
Oh, dude. I mean, I got hit up by just the most wonderful listener. Of course, you know, Sean Veazey hit me up like a G. Appreciate it. Everybody's like, congratulations. They're just wonderful people.
Bucks hit you up, yeah?
I mean, Bucks is, you know what's funny? I don't consider Bucks a listener.
That's true.
I
wasn't really like going there. It's just, I thought I saw something that he'd put down.
Yeah, he's like that's my friend. Like, we're friends.
Yeah, of course.
It's kind of wild though, isn't it? Like, these people are becoming like Bucks and like Sean, like we talk about stuff not podcasting. Like, we talk about like occasionally a life thing. I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, I've had similar conversations, man. Different people, but I mean, of course, with Johnny, like when all that shit was going bad for me last year, like Johnny called me up, dude, on Facebook. Like we had a what do they call that? Facebook Messenger conversation.
Yes.
And he's like, hey, you want to chat? And I'm like, yeah, man, I'll chat, you know. And then I'm thinking he's just going to chat with me. The phone rings and Bucks calls me and like gave me words of wisdom that I needed to hear.
Gee.
And like heard, like I was crying on the phone, dude. Like no, just, I had tears in my eyes. Like I was a fucking mess. Bucks will attest to this. I was a mess. And he had like his, first of all, the tone and Bucks's voice is like velvet, first of all. But on top of that, he has these words of wisdom, man. Like he really shed some light on some things. And quite honestly, I felt better from that day forward. Or at least I began to feel better from that day forward. So yes, I totally know what you mean. Yes, man. Like this show has brought real friends into our lives. It's crazy.
Yes. It's like, and it's unfortunate because I wish we were, one day we're going to have a meetup and the meetup is going to be the mushiest meetup on the history of
I'm hoping it's next year in Chicago, man.
Showtime.
I just like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I think I might cry when I see Bucks, dude.
Oh, no, you totally will.
I think I will.
No, you totally will. Here's my thing. Because I'm still working on the baseline that he sent me, which is impossible. He makes it seem easy. It's impossible. But it's just so wonderful to be able to be around these people that I just know. Like, look, when we meet up with, Becca, Melissa, Quentin, Sean Veazey, you know what I'm saying? Brian and them, all these people that we're going to be like, oh, now we finally see each other face to face. Nana. The cats at Blurs Are Us, when we have that big, massive meetup, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, man.
It's got, and we have a good crew. And again, it's like everyone this week has hit me up. And it's because normally you'd be like, someone is going to be like, be cautioned, be careful. Oh, wait slow it down. Every person is like, dude, congratulations, enjoy it. Have a blast. I'm like, this is what I needed. Have a ball.
It's fantastic.
Congratulations. Dude. Yeah, everyone. I think everyone is just like even when I walked in to go play at church, as soon as I walk in, they're like, well. Look at
Look
Mr.
at the lover
Taken.
boy.
Exactly. They're just all like, they thought I wasn't that. They're like, I thought you were Mr. Single. That's what they thought. And they were like, just congratulations. So I'm excited, man. I'm very excited, especially for you guys to meet her.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. Hey, one more thing about Chicago. If we do, I mean, we are going, but you brought up Melissa. I'm talking to you, Sloter. I don't think she goes to these things. So let's change that. We're going to go.
What?
Like,
why
like your boys are coming from California. I think you need to show up. So just start planning for it. You live in the city. There's no reason for you not to go.
Wait a minute.
You know what? Maybe that's an unfair statement, but like, I think she didn't. I'm pretty sure she didn't go last year. I would have been disappointed.
Well, she has to go.
I'm just saying, I would have been disappointed if I'd have showed up and she wasn't there. I've been like, oh, like that? Okay.
Because Rebecca's going, right?
I stick my tongue like you do. Stick my tongue in my cheek. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Is Rebecca going?
Yeah, she goes every year.
And all the people from PCO go?
Well, it's going to be Brian and Jake. Yeah. And then, of course, all of the leftover army all shows up. And I'm really excited to meet you guys, too. There are some of you that I talk to regularly, and I'm very excited for this, man. I think this year's going to be awesome. I'm so excited about Chicago next year. I'm just, because it's going to be like February, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping it's not going to be some fucking ice storm or something that keeps us from making it. You know what I mean?
Perfect for me. I love the cold.
Well, you're going to get a lot of that, dude. It's supposed to be super cold over
Let's go. Here's my only worry. When we're on like the runway and I'm seeing like ice on the wings, I'll be like, time out. I don't think we're ready.
I don't think I want to go outside. Can I just fly back?
No, my thing is I don't want to fly with ice on the wing. I've seen that movie. I've seen it.
What if there was a man on the wing?
Bruh, if you believe we put a man on the wing. Remember that song?
I do. Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda. Stevie's tripping on the plane again. Yeah.
I can't believe you know that song.
Come on, man. It's me. Stop.
Hey, would you do an R&M show?
As in a podcast?
Yeah.
I think they have enough history to do one. So I would say that maybe. That's what I'll say.
I don't know. They're another group that I don't understand how they got so popular.
College rock, baby.
Oh, Dave Matthews. John Mayer. That was his big thing. College
Mayer?
little tours, G. Yeah, he did those college tours.
Yeah, but it's different. Yeah, I mean, it's all college rock, I guess, yeah.
Yes, G. Oh, my. We could do a college rock show. No, because each one of them are made. Like John Mayer has a story. Dave Matthews has a story.
We can do it. Yeah, we could do that. We could like play hacky sack while we're doing it.
That's true.
We could fucking play beer pong and do keg stands.
Go to Cal Poly.
Drop Molly in people's drinks and shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, damn.
I'm just playing.
Oh, that actually.
At least it's not ketamine. Jeez, I'm just trying to get them to have a good time.
I don't even know what ketamine means.
I think it's ketamine. Is that the one that's the
Special K?
Well, no, that's a cereal. I'm talking about
that's a drug.
Well, I prefer the cereal. I'm just talking about that nasty drug
gross.
that, creepies. You know what, dude, real quick. I just remembered when I was in New York back in 2009.
No big deal. You went to New York. No big deal.
No, it's really not for the purpose of the story.
It kind of is, G.
We're hanging out, dude. It's like 3, because, the bars close at 4 a.m. over there, as I recall. But it's late into the evening, and we're hanging out with a bunch of people that we went with. And we meet these guys that we think are pretty cool, okay? And very friendly. Almost too friendly, but I was hammered and I'm thinking that we're making new friends and shit, right? And
yes.
But then they started saying all this weird shit that was just like, they're all, oh yeah, so I know a guy that works for oh god, what was the name of that musical? Rock, son of a bitch. My mind's blanking right now. But anyway, he has a connection, a Broadway connection. So we should all go and we can go check it out. I saw the damn musical and I can't think of it right now. I keep thinking School of Rock, but it's not that. Anyway, he starts saying all these things. Oh, we'll do this and we'll do that. And I'm thinking, okay, we've known you guys for like hour and a half, 2 hours max. This is going a little weird, right? So there was this one woman that went with us, and she sort of struck up a conversation with this one guy, and they were hitting it off, right? So we know something's going down. And I just happened to look, dude. I just happened to freaking look at the right time, and I see him go and just throw a little something into the drink. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, snap.
So we took the drink, and I got to remember, I'm saying all of this with 10 years between the incident, and of course I was drunk out of my mind. But I remember we got the drink away from her, and then it just kept getting weirder because, like, I don't know how, but the night continued. I don't even know how the fuck this happened, but I swear I'm not making this up. So the night continues, and we go outside. Oh, that's why. Okay, that's why the story seems weird. So before that happened, we'd gone outside, and we were like, oh, let's take a big group picture, right? So we take this picture, and I have the picture still. But the guy that I'm talking about, Mr. Droppy Drink, he was like, oh, you know what? I don't really like taking pictures, so I'm just going to hang out. He, like, anytime someone had a camera around, he would, like, move away. And I'm thinking, that's kind of odd. Like, okay, I get it. You know, you don't think you're photogenic or something, but that's odd to me. And then afterwards, when we went back, that's when he did the drop into the drink. But what's crazier is, yeah, and I remember we got it away from her, but somehow she ended up going home with him. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry. It was just, you just took me somewhere right now. But
did you like say, hey, you shouldn't be going home with that guy?
I think I did. Yeah, but it didn't bear any weight. Isn't that weird?
That's a horrifying
I feel like I'm missing a part of the story because, again, we were annihilated that night. But yeah, that's all. I'm talking about, we were with a group of people. We went for this conference. And so we were with a whole bunch of people.
I remember that.
Yeah. Well, I may have told you about it, but I mean, this was back.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you told me about that.
Yeah, it was the World Burn Congress or World Burn Conference rather. So we went to that, and so we were with a whole bunch of people that we never met before. But you know how, like, when you roll, a bunch of strangers roll together, they tend to become friends quite quickly. So it was that kind of situation. But I know I'm not making this up. And I do have the picture still of the group, and the one guy wasn't in it like that. And I'm starting to, I've been thinking this for years, but I remember going back and looking at the picture thinking, that's why you didn't want to be in the fucking picture, huh? Because this is your Friday night, isn't it? This is what you do. Anyway,
oh, snap.
Sorry. Anyway, I know that just has nothing to do with what we were talking about, but you just brought me back for a second, and I thought I would share that with you. I kind of wish I didn't, because it really wasn't the best story.
It was a good story.
Oh, thanks.
It was horrifying.
It was kind of horrifying
of a possible rape, but
well, I mean, the thing is I think everything was consensual, but to me it seems like it was consensual. Well, no. But I remember a friend of ours went with her to this dude's house, and they like stayed the night and everything while they handled their business. But it just always makes me wonder: did you end up getting another one in that I didn't see, or?
Ooh,
I don't know, man.
That's scary, dude.
Yeah, it sounds really crazy. Like something's not adding up as far as my storytelling goes, because there had to have been something in between that allowed this to happen. But I swear to God, I'm not making this up. I remember that.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you.
I don't know. I bet you know what?
That's a horrifying
I'm not
story.
going to stop the show for the sake of this, but after we record, I'm going to talk to Gail about it because I know she remembers this too. Anyway, let's move on.
That's right. That's right. I didn't know. That's right. I didn't know that Gail went out there and got plastered with you.
Oh man, it was crazy. It was a crazy.
I can't even do that anymore. I could drink one thing of wine, and I'm done.
Rock of Ages was the musical I was thinking of. By the way, sorry. Okay, I'm better.
Oh yeah, who played Jesus in that one? On the time you went,
no one. Jesus wasn't in that.
Oh, Rock of Ages.
Rock of Ages is an '80s. Like rock, like a White Snake and Foreigner.
Oh,
and, it's like a musical that has to do with this club that's opening and this guy that wants to. You know do you know who it starred? Do you remember Constantine Margulies from American Idol?
From American Idol, yeah.
It starred him, and then we went to another one like a couple nights before, and it was like off Broadway, so a smaller theater, and it was the Toxic Avenger, dude. It was a Toxic Avenger musical.
Please, dude, are you kidding me?
Composed by the keyboardist of Bon Jovi, whatever his name is, and it starred, speaking of American Idol, oh, damn it, what was her name? I think she was a runner-up. Anyway, it was like season 2. I can't think of her name right now. Man, my memory, I think I'm getting old, Steve. I can't remember shit right now. What's going on?
But you did have a good time.
I had a fantastic time, and that's the take home, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself out to New York and check out some Broadway. Get drunk in the streets and just protect your drinks. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Thank you very much.
That is a great story.
That is a PSA.
That is a wonderful story.
Thank you. So, hey, Steve, we got stuff to talk about, man.
Let's do it.
All right, so Steve, I had a couple things I wanted to get, out of the way before we get going here, because there was a few emails that we left off last week. We got a couple more.
Because of you.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. But also, last week was incredible, ladies and gentlemen. I pay attention to the numbers of this show, and we had a massive bump. We have new listeners here, so I don't know who's listening. I don't know how many of you have stuck around, but we've gotten some really positive response. We'd like to welcome you to the Heroes of Noise family, and we hope you stick around. So thank you very much for listening. It was fantastic to see the numbers jump up like that.
That's you.
Well, no, it's us. Stop it. Because
kind of you.
Anyway, but I just want to say thank you very much to the new listeners. I think that's fucking awesome that you're here, and I really hope you enjoy the show. Secondly, this is just something that's real quick. I thought you'd appreciate this because we both love Johnny Favs, right?
I love Johnny Favs.
So Ben, my son, his friend, was at Disneyland recently, and I guess Johnny Favs just walks up to him. He's wearing a Star Wars shirt, and Jon Favreau walks up to him and just hands him a Mandalorian coin. I know you don't know what the Mandalorian coin is, so just picture Boba Fett on the coin, which I just think that's fucking cool. Like, you're just standing there at Disneyland. You spend a lot of money when you go there, right? So you should get all of the experience that you can, and I think that would be a really cool experience to meet Johnny Favs. He hands you a coin to something that's not even out yet. Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was cool because he put it on Reddit and it just kind of blew up. And I heard other podcasts talking about him. PCL talked about him. He had a little 15 minutes of fame, so good on him. Anyway, I just want to share that story with you.
That's huge.
Thirdly, sir, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So I was just reading this morning that there is a Boy George biopic in the works.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what I'm asking is, with Bohemian Rhapsody and then, of course, Rocketman coming out, and just within a matter of like less than a year, do you feel this is too much too quickly?
For I think what happened, because I've never seen biopics happen so quickly. It's like, I don't know if they all planned to come out.
You know what's
so
going
quickly.
on here, right?
What is?
This is the next thing. Zombies, vampires, rock stars.
You know, it's true, but I would have thought that Ray would have started that. But I think maybe Ray was maybe they're just like, we're not going to come on the heels of that. But then I think Homeboy did a great job at Freddie Mercury. So I'm shocked that anyone comes on the heel of that. But so far, no one has beat Ray, in my opinion. I don't think anyone's done it
Do
yet.
you have an interest in seeing a Boy George biopic?
No.
I do.
I do not.
Like, I mean, it sparks my curiosity a little bit, but I'm of the opinion that these are coming out too quickly. And I don't know if I like it, man. I think that I just hate when Hollywood gets on trends and they're just like, well, let's just fucking beat this one to death. That's what I feel is happening right now. And on top of that, this is just my speculation, my prediction, I should say. I think Rocketman's going to be a flop.
Do you think that it's going to be a flop because he's singing the songs?
And by the way, I could be completely wrong about this. And if I am, I'll eat my words. I'm just watching the trailer. This is not something that I want to see.
No, I don't think for me, it's him singing.
Is that what turns you off?
Oh, it turns me all the way off.
So you don't want to see the movie either?
Oh, no, I'm not going to.
Yeah, okay, cool. Then we're on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to see that movie.
Okay, there's two things that really bug me about this movie. First of all, it looks fantastic. Like, whoever shot this, it's beautifully shot. But here's my problem with it. That, first of all, what's his name? Taron Egerton, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his singing, which is fine. He sounds like he can carry a tune, but I'm not going to pay money to hear him sing, John. It's like karaoke. You know what I mean? I don't want to pay for that. And then there's this thing, and I know a lot of people like this, but it seems like the songs are sort of woven into the movie. So it seems like it's probably going to be like spontaneous dance numbers.
Oh, I can't. No, I cannot do that.
I can't do it, man.
No, I couldn't sit here and watch him be like, hey, Elton, you don't look so good. And he's like, yeah, I'm getting over the freaking withdrawals, but I'm still I'll be like, gee,
I knew that's
if
where
you
What's wrong, man? I mean, what's it like to be sick like this? Or you can never know what it's like.
Hey, man, it seems like you're really excited. How do you get the kids involved? Hey, kids, shake. I'm like, okay, we're off. Here's my thing. That's a musical. That's a musical. Maybe they should do that on stage then.
Now you're talking. That's what I'm thinking. It seems like a Broadway play that they're putting into a film form.
Bingo. They should do a play, do the musical. But if you're going to do, you know what would have been interesting? If they did a biopic and they didn't really focus because I think Elton John has a big enough story that you could almost not focus on the music. His story is insane. I think you could have, I mean, he fell in love with the person that was writing his songs. Like, that's a beautiful story.
Yeah, there's a lot to tell. And I really think that if they would have done it more so like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
I would rather see something like that. Now, here's the weird part is that I actually love musicals. Like, going to see a Broadway musical is awesome to me. Totally. I love it. Mm-hmm. Not so much on film. I'm trying to think if there's any like musicals that I like that are on film.
Mary Poppins.
Grease is one of them that I do like a lot.
You like Mary Poppins?
Yeah, I do. But I grew up with Grease. Like I remember that my uncles took me to the drive-in to see that shit. Yeah. It was always playing in the house. So I love it. I mean, I'm not a Grease freak or anything like that, but I do appreciate that one.
I like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Wizard of Oz.
I like The Wiz. That's my jam.
Willy Wonka.
Yes. I was actively not watching Moving Out.
That was
like
the
I wasn't
going to
go see that Broadway. Yeah, I wasn't going to see that Broadway play.
Well, you weren't going to go to New York to see it.
Yeah, I don't like how they weave songs into like a story sometimes. I think it's kind of corny. Like I just would rather watch a biopic on it. I don't like to be like, let's make this guy's discography into a play. I don't like that. I'm like, why are we doing this?
I saw Beautiful in San Francisco, which is the story of Carole King. That was amazing. Book of Mormon is another musical that's fucking hilarious, and the songs are fantastic though. That's the thing. Like it's not just. I wish I would have seen it. Oh, it's coming through again. We'll have to go. I've seen it a couple of times. I'll definitely check it out again. And I really want to see Hamilton too.
Hamilton, yeah, I heard it. The problem is like a lot of people, like my son especially, they're like, if Lin-Manuel Miranda's not in it, they don't want to see it. And I'm like, well, he wasn't going to be in it forever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's coming to Fresno in 2020, I think, or 2021.
I bet you they might have to do the lottery.
Nah. By then, like, I thought the same thing when Book of Mormon came through, but by then that's why it's in Fresno now. You know what I mean? It'll sell out. Don't get me wrong. It's going to sell out, but I don't think they're going to have to do a lottery for it.
And I do want to see Book of Mormon. I do. I don't think if someone like a musician's biopic, they shouldn't just be like, okay, or not even a biopic, a musician's like theatrical run, like moving out and that crap. They shouldn't just try to build a story around a person's music. I don't like that.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not being a smartass when I say this, because I don't know if this is just a tomato situation or if I'm saying it wrong or you're saying it wrong. Is it biopic or is it biopic?
I've heard it both ways.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. What do you say?
I say biopic.
So do I. I say biopic.
You just said biopic.
Do I say biopic?
You say biopic.
Do I really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I asked.
Biopic sounds better. But it would be biopic because it's biographical picture.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're okay either way. I was just asking. I didn't know if I was saying it wrong, you were saying it wrong, or if it's tomato or tomato.
And the thing is, I think this is a year of those. I do believe that. And
I think we're going to see more, and it's just going to keep getting worse.
Oh, for sure. And the thing is, I think how well Rocketman does depends on what it goes up against.
Ooh, what's it going up against? This weekend, right? Oh, it's going up against Godzilla.
Oh, it's over, dude. and maybe, you know what? Maybe Booksmart kicks its butt a little bit too. Maybe.
I hope so. I'm going to talk about that one today. Did you watch it?
Oh, I can't wait. No.
We all in love and stuff, so you're just busy. You're just lost in love and you don't know what. You're thinking about it and it fell out of touch. You know what I mean? But you're back on your feet and you're eager to be what you want. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You feel me, dog? That's what I'm talking about.
Dad, did you drink today?
I feel like
There's something wrong. Yeah, I think you did.
When you wake up in the morning, it's like, don't say the morning's come. Don't say the morning's come so soon. Air Supply singing, motherfucker.
I don't know any.
Gail's probably in the other room going like, what the fuck is this guy on right now?
I can't wait to do Air Supply versus Journey again for on you.
Air Supply versus Journey?
Yes, I'm gonna see if you could tell them apart.
Oh, come on, dude. Stop it. Just don't even waste your time.
I don't know, Dad.
Please.
I don't know.
You're insulting me right now. How are you going to do it?
Yeah.
What did you have in mind? Like, should we just do this right now? Should we get it out of the way?
No. I'm going to get songs that you don't really know.
Like lyrics?
And songs that sound like songs that you don't know from each group that sound really similar and be like, can you tell which one's which?
I can totally do that.
we shall. And you're going to get one wrong, Dan.
Maybe.
I assure you.
That's possible.
I assure you. Which is fun because I like to hear this like enthusiasm where it's just like, oh no, I'm gonna be able to do it, and then stump you, and you're like, oh.
I would like to go back a few episodes and just bring up the whole Master of Puppets quiz. I'm telling you now, what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
Okay, we'll see. But you're going with a band that I'm super familiar with. If you throw Journey in and try and like confuse me, it's not gonna happen.
We shall see, won't we?
All right, folks.
Remember this. Put this in the books where you said you are going to
timestamp, Steve, because that works. Do it. Say it.
Timestamp.
There it is. All right, it's timestamp.
I cannot wait because, and you know what? I have been sleeping on the quizzes.
I didn't want to say anything,
but we don't have. A lot of times we're like, well, I could get up earlier,
but you won't.
All right, that brings us to our contact info, bro.
Yes.
I know we got to go.
We got a lot of shit to talk about. I mean, how are we doing on time? We okay? You got an hour?
Yeah, I got till 2. We got an hour.
Ooh, we better get cracking then. All right.
No,
okay, well, here's the deal. Then we have several emails and stuff. Do we skip it this week?
Look at Dan. No, we could do it. Look at Dan.
What?
Dan is pulling people in from his little guest appearances.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Freaking Dan, the freaking star.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But you know what I do want to talk about, Steve? And I think I'm going to go old school on this one. What do you think? Listen to this. Uh-oh. Remember this, Steve?
Oh, snap.
Episode 70, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dan Ramirez. Welcome to the show. Let's talk. Hey, you want to get a hold of the show? This is for you, Steve. Hit us up at heroesofnoisepodcast@gmail.com. That's Heroes of Noise Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, at gmail.com. And I'm playing with you. Why would I lie? I want you to talk to me. Hit us up on Twitter, at Heroes of Noise. You can hit me up, Dan, at DanQPublic, and my man, Steve the Loverboy, at SE_Hudson Music. Hit us up on Facebook. We're everywhere, man. Just go to www.heroesofnoise.com and you're going to find everything you desire. The world will open to you and you will live life to the fullest if you go to this website. I shit you not. This is the truth. While you're there, leave us a voicemail. Subscribe to the show. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, what have you. That's where we are. And of course, go down and visit our friends at Pods of Justice. All of them are there. Matter of fact, I have to add a few more to it now. So stick around. It's going to be a hoot. Like, it's going to get real fucking exciting down there. So go and check it out. With that said, again, I like to say my name, so I'm going to say it. My name is Dan Ramirez. For Steve Hudson, this is the Heroes of Noise. Let's begin the rest of the show. That felt good, dude. That felt kind of good, though.
Didn't it feel good to do the old school thing with your little pause?
I missed it. I did that just for you. You know that, right?
No, you're killing it though. You're killing it. So you got fan mail, Dan.
There's no fan mail. We got an iTunes review first of all.
Let's do it.
But check it out. See, like you say, I got it. But read into this. It's very short.
You got it.
Okay, first of all, we don't get a lot of iTunes reviews, everybody. Hint, hint. You know what I'm saying? But we got one this week, and I'm very, very thankful. This one comes from Big Vikes Fan 80. It says, heard about this show from PCL and Dan's recent appearance. I'm loving this show and looking forward to more. Come on. That's not Dan. That's us, dude.
That is wonderful, dude.
Yeah. So,
it is Dan's PCL, though. It's Dan's PCL.
I was on the show, but they stuck around. They're not sticking around for me.
Because they love your voice so much.
No. This is going to be proof. Like, you're fantastic. And I just want to say right now, sir, that if you were to turn around, like I was only half kidding about this. Is this going to affect the podcast thing? Because if you're out, Heroes of Noise ceases to exist. I will never replace you. I will just quit the show. We just shut that fucker down right there.
Never. We're gonna do a show 3000. Hopefully by show 3000, we're actually doing the live shows at local Heroes.
You know, you talking about that last week, dude, has really got me thinking about that. Like starting really small, because people know us from the show, of course, but they don't, like, the locals don't really know who we are, right? Isn't that weird? Like we have more listeners on the East Coast and the Midwest and whatnot, some in California, but like locally, not that many. We have a few, but I think it would be kind of cool to go to some place and just start yapping and watch the crowds come, or not come for that matter.
Because they'll be like, what's going on? They'll be like, what are they doing over there?
Yeah.
And they could just come. We could do it from behind the desk. We won't be. Now, here's the only thing. I'm so loud and that place is so quiet.
And I cuss a lot.
But the thing is, I think that they would actually be like, oh, what's happening over there? And maybe have like 4 chairs. If you want to see the live show and chill out, you can just sit down and chill. And who knows, dude? Maybe they'll be like, oh, we need to actually do more chairs and more chairs and more chairs.
Here we go. We hit up the local breweries.
Oh, come on.
And we just do shows from the local breweries, dude.
There is there are people doing that right now. There's only one. I saw a live like talk that turned like that's a podcast at a local bar, but they're not in our arena.
But do they have like a big crowd of people when they do it?
They have like, I mean, I think like from Facebook, it probably at least 10 to 15. But they do it every week.
I could put it out on my personal Facebook if we did that, and I know people would show up just to watch me fail.
But we would kill. And then the thing is, we could have Q&A.
Yeah.
Like once people start asking, I'm like, ask any question, random question, relationship question, pop culture question. That will be, especially if we, because I would just buy the lights that look legit so that we have like good lighting.
I'm going to go one further now. This is something that I've always.
Dan went like quiet for 3 seconds. It's like, I'm going to go a bit further.
No, because you know how like you've been wanting me to do video and I've always been against it? I'm starting to have a change of heart, man. And that's because of you, Nana. Like,
oh yeah, they look great.
Yeah.
They look great.
I would put Big T in there too, but here's the thing. He's behind the camera. Like, I've seen them do videos before, so I'm taking direct inspiration from the Blurds. Like, Blurds are us, man. They're doing it right, and I think that we're missing out on something here. I think that we need to get our punums on video.
Too bad we don't have a director that wants to direct stuff.
Who could that be?
Huh.
I just wish whoever it is, their name rhymes with Peffrey.
Yeah.
Or Schmeffrey. Cleffrey. Something like that. I just like the way it sounds.
I don't know. Yeah, too bad
you know what though? It's a fucking pipe dream, Steve.
Yeah, whatever. And the thing is, if we could do if a brewer would say, "Hey, look." By the way, that's a freaking hard word to say.
A brewer?
But if a brewery says,
I thought you meant the actual brewer. He takes off his apron. What do you need, boys? Sure, you can have my brewery.
No, if they said, "Hey, yeah, you can have this night," we'd have to pick the right one. We'd have to pick the right brewery, though, Jay.
I already have it in mind. We'll talk about the logistics of things off mic, but I'm serious about that. Like, I've been giving it some thought over the last couple of weeks, and I'm willing to look into this. So,
let's do it.
I mean, a lot of our listeners are not in California, but if you're ever in California, particularly Fresno, California, you might need to come see Heroes of Noise live.
But also, we'd be able to record it. Like, if we did it twice a month, that would be the podcast. And you'd be able to hear audience involvement.
Oh, so now we're going bi-weekly. So see, it is happening. The relationship is already affecting the show. We're going from weekly to bi-weekly.
No, we go.
I'm just kidding with you.
Yeah, we go Heroes of Noise every week, but the live version of Heroes of Noise is twice a month. But the other weeks we do a normal show. I think we could almost once a month we would probably do a live show, and then the other 3 are just talking about doing our normal show.
Fair enough.
Even if it's every. Nope, I'm not going to start
once a month. Once a month.
Yeah, once a month is perfect.
That's perfect.
I'm not going to be like once every other month because then it just starts getting further. And further.
Oh, we're already.
I'll just say
dude, we're already in so deep. I just realized that Preacher starts like a week after The Boys starts.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, what are we going to do?
Do they drop?
All of them are dropping at once on The Boys, but
okay,
I'm still trying to figure that part out. But as far as, we're good with Preacher. Like, it's not like the word's going to be fantastic for our last season, but I don't know what the hell we're going to be doing with this Boys podcast. But it's happening. I'm going to if I have to kill myself, this is happening.
I imagine we would have to just knock out 2.
Maybe Heroes goes bi-weekly for a short period.
Yes.
I don't know.
Because we'd probably do back-to-back Boys and then drop them as like maybe a weekly thing where like, when people watch an episode and listen to what we thought about the episode, then watch another episode.
Or we drop 2 a week or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah. So we have a lot to do.
Let's do the emails. All right.
You know what? I'm actually going to skip some of them for now just because we do have a lot to talk about. But we did get a voicemail from the lovely Favon. We haven't heard from her for a while, Steve. Maybe you have because, family, but not us. I'm talking about Gail and I, because we love her and we want to meet her. And we know it's not going to happen when she comes into town because you're Steve Hudson.
It will, G. It will.
Okay. You heard it, Favon. Make it so. So check this out. We got a voicemail.
Hi, guys. It's Favon. First of all, please excuse me. I'm losing my voice.
Oh, snap.
It was a rough day and it's late. So, sorry about that. You probably won't believe this, but I've stopped and started a voicemail probably 6 different times tonight because there's just so much that I want to tell you guys. But bottom line is I love the podcast. I love Heroes of Noise. You guys make me laugh. You guys talk about things that I want to talk about. And I just really, it's a very enjoyable show. You guys really cheered. I had a rough day, and you guys really cheered me up tonight. And I just wanted to say thank you.
You're
and
welcome.
I do have a little bit of a confession to make.
Spill it.
Normally, my Thursday morning is slotted for Heroes of Noise. That's what I listen to on Thursday mornings. But the past, I think, 2 Thursday mornings,
Okay, I'm pausing it. What do you think she's going to say?
To past 2 Thursday mornings.
She said, normally she reserves her Thursday mornings for us. Now, to be fair, we've had different schedules, so we've put them out a couple weeks. Like, I think they've been on Fridays the last couple of weeks.
It better not be another show.
Do you think that's what she's going to say?
I'm very, if it's another show,
Yeah.
I'm going to say egads.
Okay. What show?
Oh man, there's no way this is the show, so I wouldn't even say it.
Say it.
Pop Culture Leftovers?
You think?
I mean, that's the only thing, because that's the only one that would transfer from here to there.
Yeah.
There's a bridge.
Yo, Brian, fuck's wrong with you, man? You taking Favon from us now?
I don't think she's going to say that, though.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, my
Are
God,
you ready?
if she says that.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
I've listened to Pop Culture.
Oh, my God!
And Dan, you were great on the one,
Thank you.
I think it was last week. Anyway,
Are you freaking kidding
yeah.
me right now?
Yo, Brian.
but let me let you guys know that I never even listened to podcasts on a regular basis until you guys came along. And now I listen to a couple of other ones because of you guys as well.
How dare
So I just want to say
How
thank you for
dare
doing
you.
what you do. I love you guys. One of the things that I really admire about you guys is your work ethic.
Okay, I understand that you're giving compliments now, Favon, but let's just backtrack for just
Let's
a
back
quick
up real quick.
second.
Hold on,
I
hold on,
think
hold on,
what's
hold on.
going on here. This is what I think. First of all, listen to Pop Culture Leftovers, Favon, because it's a fantastic show. We both know this. But I think what you should have said is because of our tardiness, you have chosen to listen to this show in the interim while waiting for us to put out the other show. I
don't
think that's what she
did,
means.
though.
But
No.
I don't know now. I'm kind of thinking maybe, because Brian knows his shit. Brian's been around. Brian and Jake have been around for 6 years now.
Brian?
They're coming
I don't
up on their
appreciate this.
300th show, Steve. So we have to give credit where credit's due. But does that mean that she is now switched from Heroes and she's going to PCL? Like, are we going to hear fucking Favon? Sorry, Favon. I didn't mean fucking, but I'm saying, are we going to hear Favon on PCL?
Here's my thing. She didn't just say PCL. She said, and other ones.
Did she? I missed that. I was still like,
She sure did.
I was in shock.
She said, I listened to Pop Culture Leftovers and other ones because of you. I'm like, oh no.
Good
It's
on you,
your
Brian.
fault, man. It's your fault. You've been whoring yourself out to these podcasts, and now she's listening to wherever you go, and she's hearing great podcasts.
I think it's only fair, man. If we're listening, if their listeners are coming over here, then our listeners should go over there, right? It's only fair.
Brian, how dare you?
Love
Like,
you, man.
how
I'm just
dare you?
fucking with you, Brian. But hey, you got a new listener. You're welcome.
Brian, what is...
Now
I got Favon listening
do
to
the
my
show every week. You guys record, you guys edit, you guys
I had to
post.
pause. Stop, Favon. I'm trying to... Did you just do a Brian impersonation?
You like it?
Do it one more time, please.
Heck no, I'm not going to do that.
We want to introduce our new listener, people. You listen to the Heroes of Noise. We got Favon, people.
Gee, dude, has he heard your impersonation?
I don't think so. He's probably not going to be my friend anymore after that. Like,
his
fuck you. I don't talk that way.
That people is exactly how he talks.
Actually, he did hear my impersonation because when I was on the break, or no, it was after we recorded. I don't think I've ever told you this before. Fuck it, I'll tell you. Why not? Who cares? So this sounds really weird anytime someone tells you this, so I can imagine what he thought when I first told him this. But this has now happened to me 3 separate times. Have you ever had a dream that is the same exact dream multiple times?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so that's weird when you tell someone that, right? Like, hey, dude, I dreamt about you. And I told him that too.
Yes.
I said, listen, man, don't fucking judge me. I said, and this is on Twitter. I said, you were in my fucking dream. And it's so fucking weird that I feel like I have to tell you. And he's like, okay. And so this is what I told him. And it's pretty much exactly like this. And like I said, it's happened 3 times, okay? And then we got to get to what we're talking about here. I don't know. I think we're going to have to cut some shit out, but I'm having a blast. So I'm going to go ahead and tell this story. So do you want to hear it first of all, or should we just skip it?
Oh, yeah, let's keep on going.
All right. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's finish up Favon real quick.
Okay.
You guys are on Twitter and Facebook and on your website, and I just really admire that because I know that's not an easy thing to do.
I missed that. Did you know what she's talking about?
I have so much more to say,
Work
but
ethic.
I'm tired. I love you guys. Keep doing what you're
Love you.
doing, and I wish you guys the best in every area of your lives. Take care. Talk to you soon. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
She's coming on Sunday night.
Sunday night, next Sunday. This Sunday coming up?
This coming Sunday, yes.
And then, okay, all right. So we got to work this out. Yes, Favon, we're going to make this happen.
She wants drinks with
you know what we should do?
And Gail especially. She's
Let's
like, I want to chill with
you. Are you
Gail.
working all next week?
Yes.
Can you get a day off?
Oh, wait. I'm not working all next week. I'm working next week until I have 1 day off, and that's Maj's graduation.
Oh, God, that's coming up. Okay, well, you should get sick, and then what we'll do is we'll go to the movies, and then we go to a bar. I bring my recorder, my Zoom, and we do a mini pod. She gets to be on the show.
That's actually a great idea.
How you like them apples, Favon?
You like apples? I got her number.
How you like them apples?
Wow, I'm shocked that you actually knew that quote.
Of course I do. Come on, man.
You
But
don't
listen,
even like Good Will Hunting.
I do too. But let me tell you the story because this is fucking weird.
So you're dreaming about Brian. Go on.
So the other day I was dreaming about Brian from Bob Goes Leftovers. It's so fucking creepy.
Oh, yeah.
I could only imagine what he was fucking thinking when those words came up on Twitter. But this is what happened. So I'm having this dream. First of all, it happened last, I don't know, November-ish, something like that. And I had gone off a certain medication, okay? And I started dreaming a lot. And they were weirdest fucking dreams ever, but this is the one that stuck for some reason. And I think it might have to do with the fact that it usually pops up when I'm going to go on to the show. So maybe it's this weird form of anxiety or something like that, because according to Brian, myself and Michael Winkler are the two most nervous motherfuckers that go onto that show, period. That's what he told me.
Yes.
So no offense, Michael, but he means it complimentary, of course, but he's like, why are you going to be that way? It's me. That's what he mean. So this is what happened. So in my dream, I am going to C2E2. I have plans, I have reservations at the hotel and whatnot, fly out to Chicago, get to the hotel, and there is no reservation for me. Like there's nothing because C2E2's in town, everything is taken, and I'm like screwed in the middle of Chicago with no place to stay. Now, Brian does not live in Chicago, but for the purposes of the dream, he does. Give him a call. I'm like, dude, I'm here, and I don't even know what the fuck to do. Can you recommend a place to go? Because like, I don't have a place to stay. Like, I don't know. You know any places in town, B&B, whatever, or Airbnb? And he's like, you know what? Just come on over, man. You can crash my place. I'm like, all right, cool. So I head over there. Everything's going fine. I walk into Brian's house, and it's like just full of fucking DVDs and video games and shit like that. I'm just painting a picture, right? For some reason, it's a darker home. I don't know why. Like, there's not a lot of natural light in there and everything. So I go in, and he's like, yeah, man, welcome to fucking Chicago. He's like, you want a drink or something? I'm like, sure. So I sit down in his living room. Brian goes into the kitchen, and you're hearing like clink, 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 and he's like talking to me and whatnot. And he's, we're just having a conversation. He walks back into the room, hands me my drink. He's like, there you go, man. So what were you saying? And I'm like, yeah. So, and I look up, and Brian is dressed like a fireman, like a full-on fireman outfit. And I'm like,
in the world?
It gets worse. It gets crazier. So I go, I didn't say anything because Brian's looking at me like, you were saying? Like, there is no... Like, look at me, I'm a fireman. And he's just like, yeah, go on. You were saying? I'm like, yeah. So, and I just, finished talking and everything. And the phone rings. Brian gets up, and because there's people coming over, and I hear him talking on the phone and everything, and I'm just like sitting there like, that was kind of fucking weird. So he's like, all right, dude, later. And he hangs up the phone. He comes back and he's like, go on, man. You were saying this time he's dressed like Freddie Mercury. Like, like, what the fuck's going on? And he's not like letting on that he's doing something weird. He's just like, you were saying, go on. I'm like, okay. So I'm just sort of letting this like play out. Suddenly people start coming over, and it's all people from the leftover army. What's weird is it's all a bunch of people that I don't know. Like, I hear people on the show, I see people on the page, but I don't know these people, right? So I know that Rebecca's there. I know there's this chick named June Choi that's there. Joe Stark's there. Just all these people are there. And we're having like a little kitchen party kind of thing. We're all sitting around talking. In the dream, I smoke, by the way, which I don't smoke. But so everyone's having fun, beers are clanking, and we're all having a good time, conversations flowing. Brian says, hey, I'm going to step out onto the patio and have a cigarette. So everyone's like, okay, cool. He steps out onto the patio. And then like, so we're talking, and then like this June, she doesn't even know who I am, I don't think, which is really funny. But she like leans in and she's like, so did Brian do that weird costume thing to you? And I'm like, oh, that's like a thing. All right, I get it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'm like, right.
World.
Dude, this is so detailed. It's crazy. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so it's the thing. Whatever. That's cool. So we keep going on. And like I said, in the dream, I smoke. So I go, you know what? I'm going to go out and have a cigarette too. So I step out onto the patio, right, by myself, power one down. I walk back in. Everyone's gone. And I'm like, the fuck? So I'm like walking around, yo, anyone? Nothing. I walk through this long hallway. Now I'm going to ask you to go back to your childhood for a second. I open up this one door, Steve. Do you remember when you were in junior high or maybe even in elementary school when cafeterias had a stage? It was like a multi-purpose room.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so I open up this door and it's just this dark room. I click on the light and it's just this fucking auditorium kind of thing. It's this like a cafeteria auditorium is the best way I can put it, right? And I look over on the wall and so I see the fireman costume. I see the Freddie Mercury costume. I see all kinds of fucking costumes, props, fucking balls, whistles, bells, all kinds of shit are just in there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, right? And then the lights go out. I'm like, hello? Hello? And then I just hear from the back, the curtains are closed, right? And I just hear from behind the curtain, I hear, okay, people, let's give them a show.
Oh my God.
And then like they fucking come out, the curtains open up, fucking people are like dancing and shit, and I don't know, man. I don't even know if I should have fucking told this story, but it is the weirdest fucking thing ever. They go on.
What?
No, but check it out. So like they have a full on improv act. They have like juggling. What? They have fucking musicals. There's this whole thing I'm watching in my dream. It's like is like me talking to you right now. It's so crazy. And then I just wake up. Is that fucking weird?
That is very weird. What did Brian say?
I mean, I don't know what he said when I wasn't around. He laughed about it, but it's just the weirdest.
You told him that story?
I did, yeah.
That is funny.
It's just crazy. I just like it, though, that in my dream, he rallied up the whole leftover army to come out there and just perform a show for me. I don't know if it's for me or if that's just what they do. You know what I mean?
That is just amazing.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So, anyway. And there you have 5 minutes of wasted time, ladies and gentlemen. I got problems, Steve. I don't know what to tell you.
Woo!
Yeah.
That is funny.
I'm a fucking weirdo. I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, that's enough of it.
Right.
I'm babbling a lot. So, Favon, yeah. Getting back to that, I believe we have some free time next week, so we should get together and do something for sure.
Definitely.
Okay? Steve, are we ready to talk about what we've been watching?
Let's do this thing.
Let's do this, man. So, did you finish the one that we were talking about?
I did.
You did. All right, so let's talk about that first. I'm going to turn it over to you because I think I have a few more things to talk about.
All right, so I watched a Netflix original movie called Perfection.
As did I.
The Perfection. Dan recommended this movie to me. And the good thing is I didn't look and see what it was about. I just started the movie.
Which is the way you need to do this, by the way.
Yes.
If I can give you any recommendations later, Steve, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say, if I can give anyone a recommendation, go into this movie completely cold. Know as little about it as possible. That we have zero expectations. And I guarantee that whatever the fuck you think is happening isn't the case. Please proceed, Steve.
Oh, for sure it's not the case. So it's a Netflix original starring Allison Williams and Logan Browning.
Yeah.
So I go into this movie and I'm like, it starts the normal, these are musicians that are amazing at what they do, and it goes into whatever it goes into. I'm not going to ruin it for everybody. And then it takes a turn, and then you're like, oh, maybe this is going into Steve territory.
Meaning?
Which it didn't. Zombie. That's what I was looking for. I said, oh, if it does this.
I didn't get that right away when you told me, and then it made sense afterwards.
Oh, dude. I was like, oh, and I think it would have been better had they done that. Because people would have been like, what am I watching? But so the movie happens, things go down, and at the end of the movie, unfortunately, I just didn't like it.
Really?
Did not like this movie.
Interesting. I'm actually very surprised, Steve.
Yeah, I did not like this movie. I mean, I probably actively didn't like it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That actually really very much surprises me.
Yes, but what did you think?
Well, not what you did, actually, man. I thought it was a super trippy movie. I loved the fact that there was a surprise, like, around every corner. Like, as soon as I think I got a lock on this movie, it just flips a different direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the acting was fantastic in this movie. Like, it stars Let me give you a breakdown. It says The Perfection is a 2018 American horror thriller film directed by Richard Shepard, from a screenplay by Shepard, Nicole Snyder, and Eric C. Charmello. It stars Allison Williams, Logan Browning, and Steven Weber. We mentioned that. Steven Weber being from Wings, if you remember. I loved Wings. Fantastic. So when they go into it, the way that it sets up at first, like, there's this very... I don't know about you. Did you find this the chemistry between them, like, very sexy?
Yes, from jump. I was like, oh, they're into each other.
Yeah, but they did it very well. Like, I was like, oh, damn, this is kind of a sexy movie right here. It's actually kind of hot. And so it's not like on perv level, but I'm like, okay, I'm into this. Like, I like what they're doing, and I like the way that like they're pulling off very realistically to me.
Yes.
And then this movie takes this weird turn. They go to another location. I don't really want to say anything about this movie to you guys I mean, if you didn't like the movie, Steve, at least you should probably agree with me, right? That they should know as little as possible.
You should know as little now, but I do want to put a thing out.
Yes.
For anyone that is triggered by, because they didn't, and I think the way they used it is kind of crass. The whole rape thing. They just used it as a story plot point. And I was like, oh, that's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Like, so I would say if you're triggered, because they don't really give you a, yeah, I was like, so if you're triggered by that thing, be careful about this movie, because they don't really give it the gravity that it deserves. It's just kind of a throwaway being like, oh, you did this to do that thing to make this movie keep rolling forward. And I'm like, ugh.
I mean, I think the way that they handled it, it could have been a lot more crass, but I do see your point.
Yeah, it was just a story mechanism. Because, yeah, and I was like,
I feel you.
Yeah,
totally
that's the
agree.
only, yeah.
And it's not that I didn't think about that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want you, if you have a trigger issue, if you're triggered by those kind of things, then yes, maybe consider not watching this, or at least preparing yourself for it. But this movie is not based. Oh, is it?
It really is. Like they put it all the way around.
Too
and I
much
was like,
is the thing, though, bro. That's the thing. Like, if we say anything more than that,
it's the only way that they make this movie work is by like, but look at this thing. That's why they're so. I'm like, oh, that's disgusting.
Okay, that's fair.
You could have done something else for that. That was it was just a plot mechanism, and I just don't think rape should be used as a plot mechanism.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, that's all. And that was a big one where I was like, oh, that's what what? I thought they were going a different direction. I was like, oh, it could have been so smart. It could have been so smart, dude. Oh.
Well, okay, here's the situation. And I think that's very courteous of you to bring that up. Yeah. But again, I don't want to say too much more. I will tell you this, it's not as graphic as I've seen in some other movies.
Oh, no.
But the concept of it is there. Okay, it's sort of looming in the background the entire time. But that said, I just thought that this movie was fucking bonkers. The way that it just kept going back and forth. I never knew what to expect. Is it a revenge movie? Is it like you said, is it going to be a fucking like outbreak movie? What the hell's going on with this? So like I said, I think the acting was really well done. I think that Steven Weber is creepy as fuck in this movie. And it just keeps getting crazier from there. I'm not going to say too much about this one. I think we're going to have very different ratings on this one here. So, Steve, go ahead and give it a rating. Go ahead.
I would give it a 1.5.
Really? That bad, huh? Yeah, and that's not like you to say those kind of things.
No, not. It was just.
Was it that? Was it the concept of rape that?
Not just that. It was. They tried to do the M. Night Shyamalan thing. I was
Fair
like,
enough.
He's really messed up the movie. He really did a number on the movie business.
Wow,
and
I'm
like,
really surprised that you feel that way, but that's cool. I respect it.
But the thing is, the sad part is, I think the most disappointing thing is how in I was. That's the disappointing thing.
So then you liked it up till the end is what you're saying?
No, not to the end. I liked it up until...
Oh, until you realized it wasn't what you thought it was going to be the first time.
Up until I realized that, like, I didn't want it to be. After it wasn't a zombie thing, not a big deal.
Yeah.
But once they started being like, oh, this is the thing when they were kids, dude. I'm like, this is what we're doing?
Yeah. Let's not say anymore because I know for a fact that not everyone feels this way just because of some of the conversations I've had, but I don't want to spill the beans anymore about this movie.
No.
Because if you do end up liking it, you're going to understand why I don't want you to know anything about it.
Yes. I give it a 1.5.
Okay.
What do you give it?
1.5 out of what, sir?
5.
No. Come on. How long have you been doing this show?
Oh, I'm sorry. You said out of what?
I'm sorry. Let's use our rating system.
1.4 of what? Okay. I would say 1.5 stitched lips.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go the opposite
vague
direction.
As a mug.
I actually
that is vague. They're like, what?
I actually really liked this movie. And I liked it because, and I get what you're saying, Steve, but I liked it because it kept me on my toes the entire time. Like I just did not know what was going to happen. So, I'm going to go ahead and give this movie, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Am I going to give it a 4? No, 3.5 out of 5 stumps. That's what I'm giving it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So yeah, so I recommend that you check it out. Steve, not so much, but like I said, maybe it's a hit or miss thing. Let us know what you think about this movie. Like I said, I've talked to a few people that were like, yeah, I'm really glad I didn't know anything about this movie. It's fucking crazy. And but anyway, I highly recommend watching this. Okay?
Let's go.
All right. Maybe I'm just a horrible person, Steve. I don't know.
No, I just think it's different strokes is all.
Yeah, that's true.
all.
That's a great series too.
Different and never don't get me started.
You know the first line of the
well,
song?
the world don't move
To the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some.
Yeah, that's a jam. Now I don't know that
our
next
first duet?
part. I don't know that next part though.
A man is born. He's a
That's
man
not a man of.
means.
Is it a man is born?
Something like that. He's a man of means.
When
Then along come two. They got nothing but the jeans. But you know what they got, Steve? Different strokes to say. Different strokes to say. Different strokes rule the world. Yes, it does.
It takes.
Different strokes rule the world. Yeah.
Gee, that was the show.
It really was good, man. But I never knew what Willis was talking about. Is that weird?
Neither did I.
It's so weird. I don't know. Anyway, let's move along. So now out of what we
this
have...
one I'm looking forward to. This next one I can't wait for you to talk about.
We going in order?
Yes. Because I haven't seen any of the other things you've seen.
All right, Steve, I'm glad you asked what I watched this week because this is the shit. Very excited about this, man. I'm a big fan of the Wu-Tang Clan, as you know. And I got to watch something called Wu-Tang Clan of Mics and Men on Showtime. Can I tell you a little something about it, Steve?
Please.
Okay, well, let me do that. But first, let me do this. I bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how I be dropping these mockeries. Lyrically perform armed robbery, flee with the lottery. Possibly they spotted me. Battle scarred shogun, explosion when my pen hits tremendous. Ultra violent shine blind forensics. I inspect view through the future, see millennium. Killer bees sold 50 gold, 60 platinum. Shackling the masses with drastic rap tactics. Graphics displays melt the steel like blacksmiths. Black Wu jackets, queen bees, ease the guns in. Rumble in patrol helmet to gas, lace the function. Heads by the score, take flight inside a war. Chicks hit the floor, die-hard fans demand more. Behold the bold soldier, control the globe slowly. Proceeds to blow, swinging swords like shinobi. Stomp grounds, I pound footprints in solid rock. Wu got it locked, performing live on your hottest block. All right, I fucked it up a little bit, but here we go. You get the idea.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah, you know, one of the best fucking intros to a song ever, man. But that's besides the point.
Just calm down.
No, I'm not going to calm down, Steve. And I'm
that
stopping.
Is not one of the. You're out of your freaking mind.
No,
But go ahead.
Anyway, I'm
Dan,
not out of my
that
mind.
is not one of the. Are we? Oh, you know what? Never mind.
This is not a debate, Steve. This is my feelings. Okay. This is not a fucking debate.
But maybe you're saying top 100. I don't mind that.
No, I'm saying what the fuck I want to say, and I love it. There's just no. There's
totally
amazing
fair.
opening lyrics right there, dude. Come on. But you don't like the Wu-Tang Clan, so I'm not expecting you to agree with me. Anyway, let's talk
there
about
are Wu-Tang. I think there are Wu-Tang intros that are decent, for sure.
Okay,
but that's you can't like throw that out there and be like the best rapper of all time in the history of mankind. You know, just like
not what I said. Not what I said.
I'm just saying.
But I just did what I just said. I feel it, so you're not going to change my mind.
Understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Showtime 4-part docuseries starring the RZA, GZA, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, Method Man, Inspector Deck, You God, Master Killer, fucking Capadonna, and we also see, of course, may he rest in peace, a little bit of ODB. This movie, or I should say this series, celebrates the 25th anniversary of their first album, which is Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. It's directed by Sasha Jenkins and written by Paul Greenhouse. It tells a story basically, man, of just how it's really cool, but it's how a bunch of kids from the projects in Staten Island, they rose to fame. I can't even talk right now. They rose to fame and they like flipped the whole industry on its ear, man. They did some really unconventional shit with the business, the business side of things. RZA, he just had this business model that really kind of threw record companies, I mean, they were able to get the Wu-Tang Clan under their own label, and he was able to produce all of the individual albums just through the Wu-Tang label, and it's kind of unheard of these days. But what this series shows, it shows everything from them as kids all the way up to the pitfalls of mixing business and family, their rise to fame, how they changed the game in the 90s. I mean, they brought East Coast out a lot in the 90s, and while we were listening to like Tribe Called Quest, which again is in the East Coast, it had a different vibe. Wu-Tang came out and they were doing their own thing, and it didn't hit everyone right. Obviously, it didn't hit you right, Steve, but I loved them back then.
Oh no, and I didn't. Yeah, I did not hate. Like Wu-Tang was in. Even if here's how big Wu-Tang was. If you did not know them, I'm talking about did not listen to them.
Yeah,
did not listen to their music. Did not hear a song from them, you could still name the Wu-Tang Clan members. That's how, and this is in the West Coast during Dre, because they admitted Dre and Snoop took over the world.
Yes.
And you still knew this random group in New York, you could just rattle them off. That's how big the Wu-Tang Clan became, considering where they started from. It's insane.
I'm glad you brought up Dre too, because that's kind of what I was getting at. It's like, I brought up Tribe Called Quest, but I included them, even though they were East Coast, I was listening to them all the time along with Dre and Snoop and all that. So they were kind of all sort of together. When Wu came out, I didn't even know what the fuck was going on at first. Like at first I didn't like them. It was just it took some thought. You know what I mean? They provoked a lot of thought in their lyrics and shit.
Yes.
And if you didn't pay attention to it, they had a weird, their flow wasn't always just like with the beat. Like they did some really weird shit lyrically. And, if you some people got into it, some people didn't. But I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that you can at least agree with me that Wu-Tang kind of changed the game and just, they brought out this whole new scene. I mean, they were fucking huge, whether you liked them or not. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And anyway, so let's get back to it. So what's really cool, I like the way they do this, is they have the Wu-Tang Clan now sitting in this old theater and they're watching all this footage. Like we're watching the documentary and I'm led to believe that they're watching some of I don't think they're watching the actual documentary, but they're watching footage of themselves. And it's really cool to see them like stop and then like start, like chopping on each other. Like who came up with the Wu-Tang symbol? Who came up with the Wu-Tang name? Where did we go right? Where did we go wrong? Let's talk about ODB and with respect, that when they talk about ODB and this old dirty bastard, he had a really crazy time. when he was famous, he was going through all this other shit too. I mean, he went to jail. He was on a lot of drugs. He had a big drug problem. And I really like that they didn't focus on that too much, because the bigger story was more important. You know what I mean? They do talk about it a little bit, but not to the point where I think it takes away from it. But it touches on some really cool things. And sometimes it gets a little heated in there. One of those times is, let's talk about, did you ever hear of Silver Rings?
No.
Okay, I hadn't heard of Silver Rings either, but he was associated with RZA. He went out on tour with him. He was a he recording artist too, and he kind of had that sound. RZA took him under his wing, much like Dre did Snoop. Silver Rings didn't do what Snoop did, obviously, but what he did do was he came back into the picture a little bit later with RZA, and I sort of took it, I sort of took it like RZA did this sort of behind their backs. But what he did was he was Silver Rings was asking the rest of the Wu-Tang members to like do a few bars for me real quick. And just over the years, they would do this for him, thinking that they're just helping him out. They're not getting paid for it or anything like that. What this ended up turning into, do you have any idea where I'm going with this?
No.
It turned into that single copy of Once Upon a Time in Shaolin.
Oh, the $1 million copy.
Yes. The $2 million copy that was actually it was sent to auction, and it was purchased by, what's his name, the Pharmadouche guy, Martin Scarelli. He's the one that got that. And they were heated. Like every one of the Wu members were like, you know what? Like and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it's like, if I'd have known that's what it was, I wouldn't even fucking given it to him. I didn't get paid for it, first of all. I don't think it's a Wu-Tang album. They're very bitter about it. You know what I mean? So that was a very interesting part, because like, it's weird because like RZA didn't really say shit the entire time. He was just like, yeah, okay. Anyway, let's talk about something else. But it's a really cool part. But I like it because they don't really hold back. They don't fight on this, but they do show some arguments that happen because they had so much footage. And that's what makes this documentary so incredible, is that all the footage that they managed to hold on to. And it was like almost like they were saving it up for this. I will tell you right now, I'm going to put this in my top 3 like rock documentaries, man, music documentaries. I think they fucking knock it out of the park. Whether or not you like Wu-Tang, you gotta watch this documentary.
Yeah, I'm watching this doc because I mean, I don't like rock climbing, and I watched that Free Solo.
That's true.
So it's like, I love seeing someone at the top of their game. I still haven't watched. I need to watch this and Defiant Ones.
Oh man, you haven't seen a lot of those, huh? Defiant. I would honestly, I would choose this over Defiant Ones. Yes, I know you probably appreciate the artists more that are featured in that more. Dude, you got to watch this. I cannot give this documentary enough praise. I mean, it's just from beginning to end. Like I said, these kids that are just spitting rhymes on the rooftop of some project in Staten Island, going into Brooklyn, and then they also talks about family a lot too, because I think it was RZA, GZA, and ODB were cousins. So they talk about that. They talk about RZA before he was RZA, and when he was known as Prince Rakeem, and he was like, it was like someone was guiding his career. So there was this song. It's called "Ooh, I Love You, Rakeem." Did you ever hear that one back in the day?
No.
Picture RZA like, yeah, and all the girls are. It was just so not him. You know what I mean? And then of course he did like Grave Diggers and stuff too. But it's just weird to see like their first start into this, and then of course their final form. But it takes you all the way through the whole span of their career. It takes you when they were really, like, for instance, I just played Triumph right now. When Wu-Tang Forever came out, it was like a resurgence of Wu-Tang fans, and that album was huge. And they went on tour with Rage Against the Machine and just fucking crushed it. It shows them on Arsenio Hall. The tour, though, getting back to Rage Against the Machine tour, it shows how they were just knocking it out of the park, man, for half the tour. And then shit went down, and they had to go off the tour for a little bit, and they were going to come back on it. But then on, what was it? I'm trying to remember now. I'm sorry. They were playing a show for Hot 97. They flew back contractually to go do a show for Hot 97 because Hot 97 was like, hey, we like you and all, but if you don't come and do this show, you know how like they do those radio companies will do like,
for sure,
like an iHeart Radio concert, but this was Hot 97. Mm-hmm. And if you don't play this,
Summer Jam was huge. Yeah. Hot 97 Summer Jam was
That's what it was.
humongous.
Thank you. Summer Jam. Yeah, that's what it was.
Those were big.
Yeah. But they told them, if you don't play this, we're not playing your music anymore. So they backed him into a corner, and they ended up doing it reluctantly. But when they're on stage, I think it was it You God? I think it was You God. He was like, he just said, hey, I want you guys to say, fuck Hot 97. And he got the whole crowd saying, so fuck Hot 97. Well, guess what? Hot 97 didn't play their music again for I think it was 10 years or something like that.
Whoa.
So now you've just taken a lot of money from the Wu-Tang Clan, and they were pretty bitter about that. And that's when the infighting started, you know what I mean? And it's just egos and different ideals of what they want to do with the group and everything. And they could not really find a resolution to the point where they said, you know what, fuck the Rage Against the Machine tour. We're not going to do it anymore. And they didn't do it. But it's a very interesting part of the documentary, man. And then, of course, you get into when they kind of start breaking off, and they all want to have RZA release them from their individual contracts through the Wu-Tang, and so they can go out and do their different things. So that's exactly what he did. He released them all. He always thought it was like, you know what, you can go ahead and do your separate thing, but Wu-Tang's mine. And anytime you come back to it, you're welcome, but Wu-Tang's mine. And but he did that for every single one of them, dude, except for ODB, who happened to be in jail at the time. So when ODB got out, he's kind of paranoid about everything. He'd gained a lot of weight. He lost a lot of confidence. And he wanted to do something with his career too. But RZA wouldn't release him. And they show that whole thing going down. Conversations. It got really ugly for a little bit. And you see that ugly side of this in here. And that's why I appreciate this, because it's not just all about their rise to fame and here they are now. You see all of the bullshit, all the behind the music stuff. And it is just fucking fantastic. So I'll tell you right now, I loved the first 3 episodes the most. 4's good, but it kind of caps everything up, and it just doesn't have as much flow as the other ones do, but it's not to say it's a bad one. I totally recommend checking this out. I'm really excited about it because I'm actually going to go see the 25th anniversary tour with De La Soul, The Far Side, and Eric B. and Rakim's going to be there. So that's going to be fucking sick. I'm going with Chris and from ADO Radio and Sean from Horribly Awkward Podcast. So I'm very excited about that. I'm sure I'll be talking about that on the podcast. I'm going to go ahead and rate this thing. Again, I'll tell you right now, if you do not watch this, you are doing yourself a disservice, particularly if you like biodocs.
I love the fact that you like this so much.
I love this more than I was expecting to. It's that good. And I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5 woos. Totally fair.
Totally fair. And mind you, they have the singularly best logo in hip hop history.
And they talk about the creation of that, the different variations they had, and then it shows the guy sold, how much did he sell it for? I think they paid him like $200 for that logo.
Oh.
And then they start talking about Wu wear and just all of the marketing. And they show every place that the Wu symbols, dude. And the guy's like, if I'd have fucking known, man, I would have charged him a whole lot more.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's super interesting, man.
I really can't wait to watch this. I will be watching it today.
Only changing my rating as far as what I'm rating. I'm going to go 4.5 out of 5 killer bees. There we go.
Done deal.
So check it out, guys.
I came to bring the pain hardcore to the brain. Let's go inside my astral plane. No, Meth is the best freaking Wu-Tang member ever.
Now you're totally crossed out like
Cross. Criss Cross. That's such a nasty line, G. I was like, oh, that's gross.
What the blood clot?
I know. G, when that totally crossed out the Criss Cross. He was in a different freaking, he's the best Wu-Tang member.
He's definitely the star of the show. Yeah.
He's different.
Him and RZA are definitely elevated above the rest of them. Oh, you know what's another weird thing about that is they aged so differently. I'm pretty sure they're all close to the same age, but a couple of them, they look like grandpas.
Dude, Meth looks amazing.
Meth looks fucking fantastic. RZA looks fantastic. Like Raekwon, Ghostface, they look a little older, a little heavier, but they look the same. But Genius... He looks like he's gonna hand you some hard candy and have. Oh, I feel bad. Capadonna got old too, man. But I mean, that's what happens. But it's just weird how they look. You can just see the difference in how they've aged. Some of them.
The weird thing is that Meth was able to find another partner and kind of do this, not as big, but he made great albums with another thing. I was
he and Redman were massive, dude. But anyway, let's talk about something else, man, because I know we're running out of time.
Wait, dude.
Yes.
I can't wait for this.
And please tell me what you think, man. I mentioned it on the show, whatever, but I really want to know your thoughts on this, even though you don't like the Wu-Tang Clan so much.
Oh, for sure.
I said the Wu-Tang Clan, but you know what I meant.
Yes.
Let me know. That's kind of hard to say when you're saying it fast sometimes, man. The what?
The woke tang.
The woke.
Tang clan
That's
is
who
me,
you
yeah.
are. Yeah, you're the fucking woke tang clan. That's it, dude. You and your legion. Hey,
That's
Steve.
a great podcast name. Go ahead.
That is a good one. There it is. That's
The
you,
woke
man. You
tang
better-
clan. The woke tang clan.
Hopefully RZA don't sue you.
Oh, that's so funny, G. I'll get Rebecca and Melissa on the woke.
The woke tang clan, dude. You know they do it
Anyway,
too.
go ahead.
All
Go
right.
ahead. Yeah.
So,
That's funny.
Steve, Booksmart. Let's
Yes.
talk about Booksmart, man. Now, I went and saw this, and I was like trying not to get into the hype of it because, as you
Yes.
know, as we know, hype will tend to
Yeah.
fail you sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question, Steve. What happens when you spend 4 years of high school working towards success and sacrificing your social life and everything like that, only to find out that all of those that you were trying to do, that you thought were doing it wrong, were actually getting the same results as you?
I call that America.
I would call yeah, okay, all right, Mr. Political. All right. Fucking, okay, Woke Tang Clan. Chill out for just a second. Trying to fucking tell a story here. The answer is, Steve, you try to cram, much like a lot of these movies do, you try to cram 4 years of fun into one night, okay? This is Olivia Wilde's directorial debut. It's produced by Will Ferrell and Adam McKay. And there's no doubt that there's going to be comparisons to Superbad. Okay, that's just inevitable. That's the way it's going to be. And it's rightfully so. But I'm here to tell you, Steve, that it's better than Superbad. I really think that it is.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, I do. And I'll tell you why.
I recently watched Superbad too.
Yeah, and does it hold up?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, that's good. I mean, I like the movie. Don't get me wrong. What I liked about this movie, and it wasn't just because it was like super bad with women. You know, it's not that. They just handle things a lot better, man. And let me tell you something. Beanie Feldstein is a fucking star. She plays Molly in this. You may have seen her in Lady Bird, and you can currently see her on What We Do in the Shadows, the series. She's a fucking star. You're going to see so much coming from her, dude. She's so much potential. She fucking shines bright in this. And then, of course, there's also Caitlin Dever, who plays Amy, her friend. Yeah, these two girls, they thought they were doing it right. They weren't doing it right when they come to find out. You know, they were sort of like outcast because all they wanted to do was study. When it all comes down to it and they find out that, you know, not only are they going to these prestigious colleges, but the fuck-ups were doing the same thing. They're going to Yale, they're going to Stanford, and they partied the whole time and they had a great time. So they decided they need to fix this. So this is where you start getting into that cliche of, you know, that one last night. You know, we've seen this a lot of times in movies. They're able to pull this off really well, man. And I think it really is like due to the dynamic that the two have. I went in with these zero expectations because I figured it was going to be, I like, the hype was there, but I just didn't want to let that bother me. So I was trying to do it with zero expectations, dude. And fucking wow. Like, I just think this movie's so goddamn good. I mean, it takes this old formula and it just pulls it off beautifully, you know? And what's really cool about it is this modernized telling of things. It's very refreshing. You know, you have a diverse cast. And it doesn't seem like it's like shoehorned in just for the sake of being diverse. You know, I mean, you have a black guy in the movie that's not a token black guy. You know what I'm saying? Gay people in the movie are not comical. They're just gay. They just happen to be gay, and it's not a big issue. And they don't. Yes, there's a story arc involved around it, but it's not like for jokes. You know what I mean? And what's also cool about this is, like, you know, the jocks. Like, think about movies in the 80s and the 90s. When you see a jock in high school, they're usually a douchebag. They're usually stupid. They're, you know what I mean? Bullies or whatever.
Of course.
I mean, they do have some of these qualities, but they're not dumb in this movie. So, it's like jocks can be smart too. There can be just like the smart people, the intellectual people. And it just works really well. There are some scenes, again, I'm not going to really go too much into like spoiler territory because this is one you really need to see, but there is a hilarious drug scene in this. There's also this very awkward, Amy, one of the characters, she's been out since the 10th grade and she's never had a sexual experience before. So when she gets her big moment, that's really fucking funny. Some of the lines are fantastic. You have, I just blanked on his name right now, but you know his name, Olivia Wilde's husband, Jason Sudeikis. Yeah, Jason Sudeikis plays a great part. He's their principal, and he also has a side job, which comes in a bit later, and it's really funny. And then another person who I think is fantastic in this is, I always forget his name, so I'm actually going to cheat and look it up right now. But we have seen him in, oh God, what's the name of? I'm just blanking on names today. I apologize. The Diet, Drew Barrymore.
Oh, the Santa Clarita.
Thank you. I could not think of the town. I was going to be like San Andreas, Rancho Cucamonga. Yes. What is it again?
Santa Clarita Diet.
It always escapes me. I don't know why. Santa Clarita Diet. And I am talking about Skylar Gisondo. who plays the neighbor kid.
Yep.
He's got that real like smiley face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he plays a guy named Jared in this, who is a very rich kid who has this like all these rumors spread about him, and he's like an outcast. He just wants to be part of the crew, but like you'll see why he's such an outcast. But he's fucking hilarious in this. I really cannot say enough good things about this movie. I feel bad for Olivia Wilde because this movie was going up against it was still getting taken out by John Wick and Avengers even still. Not like that's impossible,
but
of course.
Remember, she went up against Aladdin.
And Aladdin, thank you. And Aladdin.
That's the
you can't can't fight Disney. If you're just trying to do an independent movie, you can't fight Disney on that weekend. So all I can say is, they didn't get the results they wanted to opening weekend. But if I could ask a favor of our audience, if you're going to go see a movie, go see this movie. Like just help support movies like this because it's just so well done. It's a beautiful movie. You're going to see what I'm talking about. I love the ending of it was fucking fantastic too. Just the way things work out. I don't want to give you any more than that, but support this movie, support movies like this because we're always going to have these big summer blockbusters, but by us going to the theater and watching these movies, this is how these other ones are going to get made because, there's so many blockbusters coming out that a lot of things are getting just ignored and then they don't get,
of course,
I don't want a sequel. You know what I mean? But I want more movies like this. It's very important. And this might be one of my favorite movies of the year. Just already. I know we're only in May, but I'm thinking that this is, when all is said and done and we're doing our next Noisies, I think this one's going to definitely come up. So I'm going to go ahead and rate this one.
Okay.
Go ahead. You were saying? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, no. I was going to say, this is in the running.
Oh, yeah.
Against
for
Avengers
sure.
for your favorite movie of the year.
No. Did I say my favorite movie of the year?
No. I was saying it's in the running.
No, I mean, listen, I like Avengers. There's a lot of, it's going to get something. I don't know what it's going to get, but it's going to be noted.
Best Olivia Wilde directed movie.
I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, I'm not going to be.
We have to put it in because the thing is, it's an important movie, people.
It is, but I'm not going to be unfair and put it up against Avengers. You know what I mean? Like
we can give it something. Okay, we shouldn't do that. Let's just imagine it will get something.
I shan't, Steve. I shan't do it. I'm not.
But
going to
I think it's really important. I do believe that because she's out here fighting for it, dude.
Yeah. And please, people, support her.
And I know she does have a name. The privilege of a name does help. A lot of this wouldn't even have made it to the theater if it wasn't Olivia Wilde. But that being said, I'm hearing nothing but great things about it. And we knew Aladdin was going to beat the crap out of it. However, I think they thought that, okay, but there's enough to leave some money. I think they were expecting 10 and got 5.
Yeah, I don't even know what the box office. I have no idea what the draw was.
Yeah, I think they were expecting 10, and which is understandable because they do the numbers. But, they can make that up next weekend.
They could.
Go out. Yeah,
it's up to you people, man. Help them out. We get other movies like this.
Yes.
Yes, let me go ahead and rate this one. I'm going to give this one... I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 party yachts. Okay. We good?
That's good.
I think that's great.
You know what? That is a solid score.
Yeah, it does not deserve a 3 or a 3.5. I've learned that giving 5s too often kind of like defeats the purpose and waters them down a little bit. You know what I mean? So definitely, yes. It's a very strong 4. So 4 out of 5 party yachts. All right, for Booksmart. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. So now, Steve, I'm going to talk about the one that you wanted me to talk about, and that is Brightburn.
I've heard a lot of things about this movie.
What have you heard?
I've heard it was really good, and I've heard all the way to the other side where they were just like, it's just not good. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, where's the middle? No one says it's okay. They're just like, I loved it, or that movie was not, do not believe people that are telling you this movie is good. It's not.
I'll tell you one thing. I like this movie a lot. Because it's got a formula that I liked anyway. I love that it kind of plays off of the Superman lore and how, a baby is found from a crashed ship. But what's cool about this one is like, as soon as the kid starts hitting puberty, shit starts going awry. And, they're billing this as a horror movie. And I guess I can see that. I mean, there's really no jump scares in it or anything like that. I don't scare very easily, first of all. But like, okay, so Gail and I went to go see this, right? And we had 2 completely different reactions. She said she didn't care for it. I liked it. I think that they did some cool shit that I haven't seen before, and more importantly, what I'm really going to get at is if you're into gore, like it's next level gore in this movie, dude. There is some shit in this. I was like, oh fuck.
I am in like Flynn.
But I will say that I think on this one, because I'd seen it like, I don't know. I don't even know how long the trailer's been out for, but I've been waiting for this movie for a very long time. And I think I may have amped myself up a little bit more. Had I gone into this movie knowing nothing about it, I think I would have come out saying I loved it. But I think I had my expectations set a little bit higher. So it didn't really stick the landing the way I wanted it to. But I think that Elizabeth Banks does a really good job. She plays Tori Breyer, who is, his name is Brandon Breyer, the kid. And also David Denman, who I'm not really that crazy about, but he plays Kyle Breyer. David Denman being from The Office. He played Roy in The Office. Yeah. He's not bad. It's just that he's not my favorite actor or anything like that. But
I have been avoiding these. By the way, I have been avoiding these trailers. So I don't know who's in it, what's happened, because when I saw the poster, I was like, I don't want to know anything about this movie.
Yeah. And I think that's better. So, I'm not like going to change the game up because you said that, but I really wasn't going to give too much away on this one. I will say that the trailers do give a lot and they shouldn't. But they don't give everything, but there's a few things but there's just really one particular scene in a trailer that has to do with a diner that frankly just pissed me off. It's like, why did you fucking put that into the trailer? Like that would have been fantastic if I just saw that without knowing it was coming. So I kind of blame the marketing for maybe the lesser success that this movie achieved. But then again, like you said, some people just absolutely hated it. Some people said, hey, it was just a movie. I think I'll watch this again. I don't think that they're setting this up for a sequel, even though they kind of play around with that at the end. But I think that they just did that so you can kind of like make your own ending kind of thing. And they do some really cool things at the ending that I'm not going to talk about. There is also a cameo. So stick around. There's also a cameo in the end credits that I found pretty funny. And I know everyone's going to recognize this person that's doing this. So, yeah, so Brightburn, man, I recommend you guys check it out. Again, support this movie. It is produced by James Gunn. It is actually written by the Gunn brothers, Brian Gunn and Mark Gunn. So it's like a family affair, and directed by David Urefsky. The gore is unbelievable in this movie. That's what I'm going to tell you, man. There's a lot of shit that you've kind of seen. They really do play strongly into the Superman, and I'm talking more about like the Christopher Reeve Superman, particularly when he was like getting called from the farm. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So they play with that a lot, and that's where I'm stopping right there. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this one. Brightburn. What am I gonna give this one? Ooh, I don't want to give any spoilers either. There's a scene with a dropped truck. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this one 3.5 out of 5 dropped trucks. And I really want the result of the dropped truck is really what I want to rate it as, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you check it out. Brightburn, ladies and gentlemen, check it out.
Here's the thing. I wish they wouldn't have shown me the red eyes on the poster even, because then I could have come in there and be like, oh, he's going to be a savior.
Yeah.
And that switch would have been like, oh my God.
They could have marketed this so much better, dude, and it would have just been that much better of a movie. But like I said, they really kind of gave away too much in this one. And that's a shame.
And the thing is, I wonder if they made him out to be a savior, how long would it have taken me to realize, oh, wait a minute. Like, the more he kills people, I'm like, well, he's just, trying to save people. Like, when does my brain turn in the movie where, like, I think he might be the bad guy?
Yeah. And see, that's the other thing, too. They could have actually done that a little bit better. Like, it's almost like the flick of a switch. Everything changes. And I think that I would have enjoyed it a little bit more had they, like you're saying, gradually sort of, like, strung you along and, oh, hold up, what's going on here? That kind of thing. You don't get that. It's just, boom, oh, okay, this is where we're going. And it happens that quickly. But I liked it. But like I said, Gail did not really care for it at all. But I found it to be a pretty enjoyable movie. I thought the special effects were good. But believe me, Steve, when I say the gore is gory, like I have, and remember, we're dealing with a good budget now. That shit looks incredible.
Now, what didn't she like about it?
She just said it just didn't hit her right. I mean, she didn't really say much more than that. She said that the kid bugged her, which it didn't bug me at all. I mean, he didn't, you know how like sometimes kids can, child actors can sort of water down a movie. I don't really know how to put that. I didn't get that from this one. So I'm kind of curious what you think about that.
If the main person annoys you, that's the movie.
No, he didn't annoy me at all. I mean, he definitely looks pretty evil sometimes. And I think he did just fine. I'm not going to knock a kid that's doing his best, particularly when he's just doing what they're telling him to do. But no, I did not feel the way that she felt about this. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.5. Did I give it 3.5? I did give it 3.5, didn't I?
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, that's how good my ratings are. I fucking forget 2 seconds after I do it. All right, so that's it, guys. Brightburn. I'm going to do a couple of quick ones real quick, and then we're going to be out of here. Fair enough?
Yes.
All right, so these are just really quick little notes. I don't have a lot to say about this one, but I recently watched the Unauthorized Bash Brothers Experience on Netflix, which is Lonely Island, Andy Samberg and the crew. They said that they were going to release this poetic, I forgot what they called it. It was like a musical poem or something like that. And it was going to be dropping on, I think it was Friday night. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying that I'm not a Lonely Island fan. I did like their first album, but I sort of feel like after that first album, I got the gist of it. And after that, it just became sort of white noise in the background. I just did not care for this at all. Did you hear about this? Do you know what the premise is or anything?
Yeah, I saw something online. I was like, I'm probably going to pass.
Yeah, I would recommend passing on this. It says The Lonely Island spoofs notorious baseball stars Jose Canseco and Mark McGwire in this visual rap album set in the Bash Brothers 1980s heyday. So that's where we're getting the Bash Brothers from. And they do talk about, steroids and drugs and shit like that. But it just didn't do anything for me. And I'm trying to be kind about it. I just felt like I kind of already knew where I was gonna be on it, especially when I found that it was basically like just one long half-hour music video. I'm just sort of over the whole Lonely Island thing. I'm way, way, way over Andy Samberg. I feel like he's just like a one-trick pony. That's just my opinion. But it just doesn't do anything for me. So I will say that if you like Lonely Island and you still are into that and you find their humor funny, then you're not going to get anything different. It's essentially that. But I'm sort of sick of the whole, Andy Samberg rapping thing. And I just found it to be really cheesy and boring. And to be fair, I turned it off halfway. I just was done. I just couldn't do it anymore. So like I said, to be fair, I didn't watch the whole thing, but if you can't get through a half an hour, that's saying something. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
So yeah, I honestly, I just thought it was terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and rate this one real quick because we know we got to get out of here. The Unauthorized Bash Brothers Experience, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 1.5 out of 5 Coke straws. There we go. or steroid needles or some shit like that. That's it for that one. And then lastly, we're going to talk about one more thing, and then I believe we are going to be getting out of here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about is something that I watched. It just came out the other night. Steve, do you like roasts? Comedy roasts?
I liked them in the beginning, and then I just got done with them.
I'm totally 100% with you. But what if they could put a spin on the roast and make it like sort of, I don't know, make it a little more refreshing? I'm not going to make you answer that question because you don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you do. Did you see anything about historical roasts?
I have. Netflix? I saw it on Netflix.
Okay. I'm gonna just have to stand up and applaud for historical roasts because Roast Master General Jeff Ross is back and he decided to do something that's just so much more different. They are still roasting, but they're not just roasting everyday comedians now. They have taken it one step further. They are now dressed up and they are taking character and they're roasting historical people such as Muhammad Ali, Abraham Lincoln, Freddie Mercury. Who else did they do? Let's see. Oh God. And then two. Okay. First of all, the Anne Frank one is fucking hilarious. I mean, it's not in good taste as you would expect, but it is.
Of course not.
That's not what these are about. You know what I mean? It has Gilbert Gottfried as Adolf Hitler. It's just fucking.
Oh my God.
And he destroys, dude. He fucking destroyed. It's so funny, man. And this is where you don't give people jokes because that's what it's about. You never tell a comedian's jokes. But the Martin Luther King one, dude, it's just the funniest. I was dying. You have Jeff Ross, who's just hosting as himself on this one, which is a pretty smart thing to do. But then you have Jerry Minor playing Martin Luther King. That's who they're roasting. Brandon T. Jackson plays Barack Obama. Jaleel White. You know who Jaleel White is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jaleel White plays Nelson Mandela. It's so funny. And then they have Sashir Zamata, who plays Rosa Parks. This is all I'm going to say about this one. They go there. So they're calling out the dais, right? And they're like, all right, and the first person on the dais is going to be Barack Obama. He walks out, he does his thing. Nelson Mandela, he comes out and does his thing. And then lastly, Rosa Parks. And Rosa Parks walks past the dais and she sits in the roasting chair. And they're like, this is
That's
awkward.
funny.
This is really awkward, but we're going to have to ask you to get up, so they're just
That's
going,
funny.
yeah, dude, it's fucking hilarious. Not all of them. Some are a lot funnier than others, but I just, when I got into it, I was thinking, okay, I don't know if I'm going to be feeling this. By the end, I was fucking dying. There are only, I believe it's only 6 episodes. Yeah, 6 episodes. And they're, they vary, but I highly recommend checking this out, particularly if you like roasts, historic roasts, man. It just takes it to a whole nother level. And I was fucking dying the entire time. I'm going to go ahead and give historical roasts. I think I'm going to give it 3.75. No, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 daises. I can't think of anything because I don't want to give anything away on this one here. It's just outside of, I'm almost regretting giving away the Rosa Parks joke, but there's just so much more. But Gilbert Gottfried as Hitler is, dude, I mean, I had fucking tears coming down my face. So if you don't watch any of them, but just like one of them, watch the Anne Frank one. It's just hilarious. And that's
Done
it for
deal.
me, man. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. People, you have listened to the 70th episode of your Heroes of Noise podcast. It's been a blast, but 100's coming. 100's on its way.
Quick.
Cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. Dan has watched a lot of things. I feel like I should watch a million things this week, and I'm going to catch up. Watch this. I'm going to watch Wu-Tang. I'm going to watch all this stuff. And next week,
You're going to watch all the shit I already talked about?
Exactly. And future things, for sure.
You know what's funny?
Even though
I've been talking, I'm so sorry, Steve, but I've been talking so much over the last couple of weeks that it's funny. By the end of the show, like my voice is leaving me. It cracks me up.
Yeah, dude, next week, I don't know if I'm going to watch as much, only because the graduation week, but we're still going to have a show. Cannot wait for it. The next voice you're going to hear is from the amazing Danathan, yet more while his voice goes out. I love y'all, and I can't wait for the next episode. Again, you got to hear Dan rap today. You might want to go ahead and clip that out and make it your ringer. And until that day, love y'all. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to episode 70. I hope you had a good time. Again, new listeners, thank you for joining us. I hope you stick around. Let's have some fun over the years to come. Notice I said years because we're not stopping anytime soon. Unless, of course, Steve falls in love and decides to like move away or something like that, which is very possible. I had a great time this week, Steve. I'm very happy for you, sir. I'm glad you're in a happier place in your life, and I'm glad that you have found something that can spring into love. I'm looking very forward to spending next week with you and Favon. So let's see if we can make that happen. And other than that, ladies and gentlemen, check us out. Like, just fucking, if this is the first show you've ever heard, check us out. We have 69 more of these bad boys, and I think they're all pretty good. So with that said, my name is Dan Ramirez. We are the Heroes of Noise. People, be good to yourselves. Be good to the people around you. Peace.